a couple of days, but let's get going here over that green light. And we are on. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKR Sport. We are live. It has been a very tumultuous couple of days in regards to me being able to stream. As you guys know, I am currently in India and I'm currently in Delhi as I'm leaving tonight. I am getting out of here tonight and heading to Thailand. So do apologize for having only been able to do one stream so far. This is our second stream of the weekend. There's been some absolutely amazing games too as well, with obviously the Mighty Titans, baby. Boo, boo! Boo! Yeah, the boys come back from 20 points down. We also had the Raiders choking a 20-point lead to the Doggies just before. And also another comeback as well with the Rabbitohs coming back against the Broncos and hurting their emotions and feelings as well. So, look, it's been a great round. I've been enjoying it. Just haven't been able to stream it, unfortunately, because people can't get along. People cannot get along. But today's game is the St. George Illawarra Dragons taking on the New Zealand Warriors in Wollongong, which is going to be an interesting game because the Dragons are a very up and down team. The Warriors are doing well. People are kind of waiting for them to fall off, but they haven't fallen off just yet. So there's a lot going on in rugby league at the moment, and it's super exciting. I'm looking forward to today's game. So let's get into the two teams, the lineups, a little bit of analysis, and then we'll get into the chat and see what you guys are saying. Obviously, guys, hit that like button and subscribe. And trust me, you're going to want to see the video that I've got to put out about India tomorrow on the BKRtravel channel. So India realistically starts tomorrow, but we're actually starting off now and then going back to the start because I do need to obviously speak about the situation that we have currently been in. So if you haven't subscribed to BKRtravel yet, that is in the pinned comment. You'll be able to go over there and see my thoughts on everything while I am currently in New Delhi. But all right, let's get into this game here today. So the Dragons, they come into this game from 12th position. The Warriors come into this game from 3rd position. And this is at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. The conditions do look fine, so it should be a good one. Now, the ins here for the Dragons, Loko Pacific Tonga and Raymond Fatala-Mariner, with the outs being Emre Gula and Nathan Lawson. The fullback is Clinton Gutherson, who is the captain. The wingers, Tyrell Sloan and Corey Allen. You go to the centres of Moses Sully and Valentine Holmes, with the 5'8" being Kyle Flanagan and the halfback being Lycan King Tungia. The front row forwards are Toby Couchman and David Clemmer, with the number 9 being Damien Cook, back row of Jaden Sewer and Luciano Leilua, and the 13, Hamish Stewart. Interchange of Dylan Egan, Jacob Liddell, Jack DeBellin and Loko Pacifici Tonga, with the 18th minute replacement being Raymond Fatala-Mariner and the coach Shane Flanagan. We say this every single week with the Dragons. You know, some days they can be absolutely fantastic and some days they can be, you know, a Queensland New South Wales Cup team. You know, that's the kind of way the Dragons are. They've got some good players. Clint Gutherson's been having a fantastic season for them. And, you know, they went out and bought quite a few changes in the off-season. But obviously they're still trying to figure out their halves situation. They dropped Lachlan Ilias last week. They've got Kyle Flanagan there still in the 6. Lycan King Tongia had a decent enough game there. Actually, who did they play again last week? It was actually forgotten who they played. Just last week, round 9, the Dragons, they went and that's right, they lost to the Tigers in that kind of wild game. Really all over the shop. Then again, every game is wild at the moment, man. Like truly, every game is all over the shop, and definitely no lead is safe. No lead is safe. So I'm hoping soon enough there's going to be a team that comes back from more than 26-0. All right, please, someone do it, please. I'm begging at this point, and it's going to happen in the next couple of years. Yeah, with the way this is going. But look, I think the biggest issue for the Dragons is that they do have a solid enough forward pack. I don't actually have that many complaints about that. I think their 1 through 5 is very up and down. I think there's a lot of good things about it and a lot of bad things about it. But their 6 and their 7 is the biggest worry. Kyle Flanagan isn't going to be the guy there. They already lost Lachlan Ilias. They dropped him, and now they're just going to rely upon this young blood and Lycan King Tungia to kind of get them over the line. And I don't know. That's what really concerns me about this Dragons team, where overall they do have some great players in some great positions, but it's just not too balanced. Now we got the Warriors on the other hand. You got Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, Eddie Jeremiah Tawava, and Jacob Laban coming in, with the outs being Edward Cosi, Rocco Berry, and Samuel Healy. So big in there with Watene-Zelezniak. He's been out since round 1 or round 2? He's been out for a while. The fullback is Chance Neil Klokstad, with the wingers being Dallin Watene-Zelezniak and Tane Tuolpiki. Centers of Adam Pompey and Kurt Catewell. You go to the 5'8", Channel Harris Tavita. Halfback is Luke Metcalf, with the props being Mitchell Barnett and Bunty. Full! Number 9, Wade Egan, with the back rowers being Leka Halasima and Marata Niakore. The 13 is my boy, Aaron Clark, get around Ez. The interchange, Jackson Ford, Jacob Laban, Dimitri Vaimalga, and Tamari Martin, with the 18th minute placement being Eddie Jeremiah Tawava, and the coach is Andrew Webster. I was one of the many people who completely underestimated the Warriors going into this season. Put my hand up and say that I just was not expecting this by any stretch of the imagination. You know, I had them down to the bottom four. I thought they weren't going to be too great. Their half situation was looking a little bit how you going. You know, post Sean Johnson. Obviously, Sean Johnson didn't have a great year last year, but he's one of the better halfbacks, one if not the best halfback in Warriors history. I'm aware of Stacey Jones. Just saying that Sean Johnson's definitely there. But I came into the season thinking that their halves were just going to be all over the shop, but it's actually worked out for them. The only reason that there's been a little bit of worries because they don't really have a conversion kicking game for the last 2-3 years, to be fair. But look, their 1 through 5 is solid. It gets the job done, man. You know, they've got some big names on there like Chance, like Dallin, even Kurt Capewell, who pushes into the centres. You know, this team is 1 through 5 has not been as bad as I kind of expected they nearly would be, considering the halves, because the 1 through 5 is effectively really heavily reliant on how your halves are going to get them the ball, but they've been doing the job. There's a reason why they are as high up in the ladder as they currently sit. And then, look, their front row forwards are really strong, you know, really, really strong. And although you would look at other teams and say, yeah, look, they've got a better forward pack, on paper, I think the Warriors on paper have a great forward pack, and I think that they've been performing just as much as well. So, look, I'm going to tip the Warriors here today. I'm going to tip the Warriors. I will be hesitant on the 13 plus. I will go 1 to 12. I will say it'll be a close game because every game is a close game realistically nowadays. And even if a team is leading at 20-0 at halftime, 20-0 or 14-0, which is all three of the games so far, then you know that lead still isn't safe. So yeah, it's completely all over the shop, man, and that's what's making it super exciting right now. How you going to the guy that had a crack the other week and said that the competition is really boring and underwhelming this year? Because I'm going to have to heavily disagree with you. It is an extremely exciting season, and quite literally anything can happen, man. So look, yeah, I'm going to take the Warriors here, 1 to 12. They don't have a great record at this stadium. They do not have a great record here at all. But I just think that they're the better team here today. Now, looking at the ladder here quickly, you've got the Dragons all the way down in 13th position right now on 8 points, which is equal with the Dolphins, the Knights, and the Titans. The Panthers still to play this week. Eels obviously played on Thursday, so don't matter about them. But the Panthers are on 6 points, and they play the game after this against the Cowboys. Now, if the Dragons win this game, so they've got a plus 198. No, sorry, plus 198. Sorry, that's their the amount of points that they've conceded this season. They've got a minus 14 points differential. They would, for the time being, jump above. No, they would jump above the Dolphins because the Dolphins have already played. They actually play the Warriors next week, the Dolphs. But the Dragons would jump above them into 12th. They also have a better points differential than the Rabbitohs in 11th. On minus 62, so they jump them. They also have a better points differential than the Roosters. So they would jump into 10th. And then if they win, they're on the exact same points differential right now as the Cowboys on minus 14. So they would, for the time being, jump above the Cowboys into 9th position. And the Cowboys do play the Panthers later on today. So if the Panthers beat them, then the Dragons would be chirping because the Dragons would go into 9th position. Now, look, they would be equal as well with the Tigers, Manly, and the Sharks, and the Broncos as well. But they would need a significant win here today to be jumping them. So they're minus 14. The Tigers are plus 20. They'll be having to win by 34 points. Obviously, the Tigers still play the Storm tomorrow. So there is a chance that this could be a swing, and the Dragons could actually put themselves into the top 8 this weekend if they win this game here today. But realistically speaking, you'd be putting them into 9th position. I'm pretty certain the Panthers will be favourite for that Cowboys game. So if the favouritism comes off, which is not likely at all in regards to competition this year, then the Dragons would go into 9th position. If they lose this game, however, they're probably not going to drop. Well, they could drop off if the Panthers win. So it would be heavily reliant on the Panthers beating the Cowboys. They're on minus 2 right now, and on 6 points equal with the Eels. So if the Panthers were to win, then the Dragons would drop down into the bottom 4 in 14th position. And they would have to lose this game by about 40 points to go below the Knights in minus 52, and then they have to lose by a ridiculous margin, like 70, 80 points to go below the Titans, right? So overall, the Dragons are looking probably at a 14th position if they lose this game, probably. So that's the Dragons. The Warriors, on the other hand, they're in 3rd position right now on 14 points. They are equal with the Raiders, who just lost to the Dogs despite being up 20-0. But the Warriors have got a plus 0. The Raiders are plus 60. It doesn't really matter too much because if the Warriors win this game, they would go up into 2nd position, which will be absolutely massive for them. They cannot go above the Dogs because the Dogs are now on 18 points. It just hasn't updated yet for the NRL. So they would go to 16 points and they'd be clear second. They would be just straight up second. No one is on the same amount of points as them because the Storm are still 2 points below them. So even if they win against the Tigers tomorrow, they would go to 14. So the Warriors would be clean and out second position on the table, which is crazy to think. Bulldogs, Warriors, Raiders. Who would have thought pre-season that would be the ladder after about 10 rounds? So yeah, if they win this game, they go into second. That's as simple as that. They lose this game, however, and the Storm are on 12 points in fourth position with a plus 76. So regardless of the score, they would go into fourth position, the Warriors, and the Storm would jump up into... would Storm actually jump up into second. Raiders go to third, no matter what, basically. Well, as long as the Warriors or Storm, one of the two, win their respective games. So the lowest that the Warriors can finish is fourth. The highest they can finish is second. And that, my friends, is the tail of the tape, son. That is the tail of the tape. Tipping the Warriors. I'm going 1 to 12. I think it'll be an interesting game. They don't have a good record down here. But I will say that it's going to align with the trend of games this round and just be extremely exciting all the way down to the end. But guys, obviously hit that like button, subscription if you are new around here, subscribe if you're new, get around it, and go check out BKRtravel because tomorrow we've got a pretty big video that starts off the India travels that speaks about all the situation that's going on over here, which is not exactly fun. not exactly fun. Reese77 says, looking at the round so far, a bit scared for my wires. I'd be scared if you're any team, man. Doesn't matter who you are, whether you are. Because, like, at the end of the day, the Bulldogs win that game, but you've got to be concerned about their first half. Yes, they came back in the second half, and that's amazing, right? That's incredible to see them come back in the second half. And the Raiders are a good team so far this season, but we've always had that hesitancy. Hey, Raiders fan, big papa. Now do you understand what I'm talking about? Which I've been trying to tell you for weeks now. You gotta be careful thinking it's too done and dusted, like after 10 rounds, right? After 9, 10 rounds. You got to be careful. There's a long way to go in this season. Lots can happen. But regardless, like, no team should be going behind by that much because you're not going to have that comeback every single game. So every single team still has concerns. Every single team still has question marks, and every single team can win on any given day despite big margins. So it's extremely exciting to know that even at halftime, if you're down by a big margin, you're not out of the game yet, which in previous years, actually this is kind of the first year where it's been consistent across the competition. For years, the Titans have been throwing away leads like massively. The Raiders were known as the faders for a reason, and that came back today. The point of the matter is that there has been teams that have had a consistent trend individually where they would give up massive, long-standing comebacks and whatnot. But this is the first year where it's kind of consistent across the competition where no lead is safe. We've seen 3 just this round of 13-plus comebacks. The Rabbitohs were down 14-0, the Titans were down 20-0, and the Bulldogs were down 20-0. So we've seen 3 of those just this round. I can't remember another time where we've seen 13-plus comebacks more than once in a round, let alone maybe twice at max, but we're seeing 3 already, and there's only been 4 games of the round. So no matter what, you just don't give up hope anymore, and that's what is just really intriguing about the NRL this season. Ben says, how about the good old Trell field goal? Such a sight. That was amazing, dude. That was actually amazing. Like, obviously, I've got a little bit of disappointment that I wasn't able to stream yesterday due to the current conflict with India and Pakistan. I was disappointed, but I got to watch it, and it was so exciting, man. It was also a bit refreshing, too, to not have to stream it and actually just get to watch my Titans and actually just get to watch a game kind of deal. But also, I would have loved to have celebrated that here with you guys. It would have been awesome. United Sucks says, please, Dragons, don't think we have any chance today, but anything can happen today, please. Why do you not think you have a chance today? Why? Explain to me. Like, I'd like to know why, because I can't see a world where why you think you have no chance. You got a good record over the Warriors here. The Warriors aren't exactly guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of still things we need to know about both these teams, and especially the Warriors, who have really shown themselves at the top of the table now. But it's a long season, so let's see if it continues on. I don't know why you would think that you have no chance here today. Skuggle says, except the Cowboys, they're just going to get pumped. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I can guarantee anything. Oh, there's Volk in the stadium right now. Big Volkanovski. Warrior says, Marlo, brother, up the wires. Titans will make the top 4. There's a lot more that I need to see before I can start thinking top 4. There's a lot more that I need to see before I can start thinking top 8, because the same thing goes that I said for the Bulldogs. I push across to the Titans and I go, well, there's still a lot to be proven there too, isn't there? It's not like that's just... I'm not thinking that we're going to win the comp now. The the Titans' comeback was fantastic, but it was against a Knights team that was just absolutely dreadful, like dreadful in that second half. So, yeah, look, it's exciting to get back into the winner's circle, man, to feel a bit of happiness and whatnot around the community, and I needed that yesterday because it was a very stressful day for me yesterday trying to get out of Udaipur to Delhi, and then I got to stay overnight in Delhi, and I'm leaving tonight at 1:40 a.m. to Thailand, and right now there's like there was the Air Force of Pakistan that was shot down around Srinagar, which is a little bit north of me. So I'm just really hoping that Delhi airport doesn't get closed, because if I don't get out of this airport, then shit, I'm screwed. So it's been a really tough couple of 24 hours or so, but yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. So look, Titans getting that win, fantastic. Really happy for that one. Lot to go still. David says, "G'day, Mr. Streamer. I hope you're blessed, healthy, and safe wherever you are in the world." Safe, but no, we're all good, man. But the game has kicked off here. The Warriors will kick it off to the Dragons, and they will bring it out from their own in goal. Bounces up, and they'll bring it out now to the 15. Oh, just to the 10, actually, through David Clemmer. Acidic Ankle says, "Hope you're safe over there, mate, with all the shit going on." Yeah, no, it's pretty hectic, man, but apparently there was like a missile intercepted towards Delhi this morning, actually. So that's why I got nervous about my plane being able to actually leave. But no, we're all right, man. I'm currently staying at the Novotel here, and a nice aircon. It's a penalty to the Dragons here. The first set of the game, couple tackles in. Aaron Clark unfortunately gives away a penalty, and the Dragons will be coming out of their own 25. But yeah, a point of matter is, what was I saying again? It's like, this is the thing, right? It's not at the level yet where the shit has truly hit the fan, but it's kind of like when, not if, at this point. But anyone, like, I don't really want to get into politics on here, but in the same sense, I am here. Like, I just can't believe how one place is receiving a positive reflection out of this, to be completely fair. Second tackle now at the 50 for the Dragons. So they get themselves out of trouble with that penalty, and that was an early one, which kind of puts them onto the front foot early, which is nice to see for the Dragons. They get this ball out the back now to Jaden Sewer, who'll get the ball to the 40. Shatij says, "Hey Blaze, what's up, man? Flew out of India tonight, 1:40 a.m. Just need Pakistan to slow down on getting aggressive, so that the airport doesn't get cancelled. The plane doesn't get cancelled, and the airport gets shut down. Left hand side now underneath, and it's going to be Leilua, who gets the ball to the 22 now. Fit tackle, Damien Cook. They're going to get a good kick away here. King Tunginga puts that ball up in the air. Caught by the Wards. Wow, that's a great catch. That's a really good catch. But I hope you're safe there in Jaipur, Shatij. I know about what's going on there as well. Even though there's been some false reports, like I know about what's going on there as well. I've got a couple of friends who are in your area. Surfright says, Latrell was on fire yesterday, especially that sneaky try with seconds left. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that as much as other people do. It's like, if you have a problem with the Sam Walker incident from a couple of years ago, then sure, you should probably have a problem with what Latrell did yesterday, but it's like, at the end of the day, with the Sam Walker one, I will say it's a Warriors fit tackle. They only get to the 30, not a great set whatsoever there. If you have a problem with the Sam Walker one, it's a bit different, because that's like, you have the ball, you're running away. Is it different, actually? I don't know. No, I think that with the Sam Walker one, it's kind of not at the reliance upon the other team thinking the game is over kind of deal. Like, he's making a strategic play to run backwards. With the Latrell one, it's like, until the whistle goes, you have to play until the whistle whistle does go. So I feel like the Broncos, if they're not going to make a play at that, then that's kind of on them rather than on Latrell Mitchell and the Rabbitohs. Play until the final whistle. Points differential does matter, especially in this year's competition. And then, yeah, like with the Sam Walker one, it's like, well, the other team didn't get a chance because he ran 90 metres away, and it was just a little bit more on the controversial side. But overall, like, the game's a game, baby. Oh, Dragons! Taken down 1 metre out. That was a good kick, actually. Never expected anything from that. Skugger says, Pakistan and India should just resolve this war with a game of cricket, be a lot more peaceful. Well, India always slaps Pakistan in cricket. Shatij says, Skuggle, you haven't faced terrorism for many years like us. If you would have faced this, you wouldn't have said this. So Shatij, this is why we don't really talk about politics on here, because at the end of the day, there are going to be people who aren't from the area that doesn't know about it, and I can tell you that Unfortunately, the old TikToker is giving a positive reflection to a country that really doesn't deserve it right now. So second tackle, it's going to be Kurt Kay. Wells away here. He's at the 35 to 40. The 45, great run, third tackle. So yeah, don't take anything too serious in this chat. Like if I see something out of line, I'll reply to it because I'm here. I know what's going on. Levi Smith says, hey man, have you arrived in Thailand? No, tonight 1:40 a.m. is my flight. So fourth tackle, they go out to the left, and now Aaron Clark is going to get this ball to the 30 on fifth tackle, 5 minutes into this game. Rysen says, strangely in a year, we aren't doing good. We break 2 big hooters for us. Win against the Chooks in Sydney and win against the Knights in Newcastle. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That is a really good point. That is a really good point. So first tackle here at the 5 for the Dragons. They'll get this ball here to the 10. I wasn't expecting to win Newcastle, man. Not because the Newcastle are good. They're awful. But I wasn't expected to win there because we always get pumped there. It's like a tradition between Titans and Knights. When the Knights come to the Seabus Stadium, the Knights get whooped. And then when Titans go to McDonald Jones Stadium, we get whooped. But this time we beat them twice. So, we'll take it. Where's Brett Neslick, that motherbish? Where's Brett Neslick, that motherbish? Thank you, Kerryama Bruss, for reminding me. Dragons knocked the ball onto the 40. We're taken down. Kerryama Bruss, that's Jay Hayes' fault and Skunkle. That's both their fault. You're doing their job for them. You can have one insult towards them. You can do it. Everyone can insult them, actually. But there'll be a knock-on from the Dragons. The Warriors will get the ball here at the 40s. That's been refreshed now, man. Skunkle says he would be lost without you, Jay. I'm going to read this comment out, even though it's been removed, and I understand why it has been removed. Don't need an answer, but who invaded who first? Logan Borsak says, so about a month ago, there was a terrorism attack up in the Indian-operated Kashmir, based off of Muslim Hindu. So the answer is Pakistan. First tackle here for the Warriors at the 30, but this has been going on since 1947, mate. This is not a new thing. So Viliami kick out now. Not Viliami kick out. Jeez, I just got off that Bulldogs game. 6 again for the Dogs. That's right, it's Liquor Halacimas. That's where I got confused. First tackle, and they'll go right-hand side to Barnett, and Barnett's going to be 5 metres out even the line. Second tackle. Probably still sending Blaze hate mail about ditching the pod. Oh, we haven't seen him since I didn't go on the pod, to be fair. I don't think he realised I was actually genuinely sick. Like, I was genuinely really sick. Shitish knows. I was at his Airbnb at the time. So 4 tackle here, 2 metres away from the line for the Warriors. On the attack here early, Wade Egan. He's going to go out to the left-hand side. They're 2 metres away. Aaron Clark steps again. And 7 metres away. Is he 6 again? It's 6 again for the Warriors. Inside the 10. No, themselves is up the Waz. Well, they're on the attack right now. Wade Egan to Mitchell Barnett. And Barnett gets the offload away. Wade Egan to Charles Neil Crookstad. He steps again. He's still going here. Is he going to get an offload? He might still score. Oh, he's half a metre short of the line. Second tackle. They give it back here to Wade Egan. Wade Egan across to Barnett. Barnett to Luke Metcalf. Short ball. Adam Pompey. And Pompey will be 2-3 metres away from the line. Third tackle. Wade Egan gives it to Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark fake. Should be try. Should be try. Let's have a Luke Metcalf. Whoppa! Oh, Waz go bang. The Waz go bang. And it's 4-0 here with a kick to come to the Waz. Right next to the post as well, so it should be an easy enough kick here for the Warriors, who don't have great conversion kickers. But it will be 4-0 with the kicker to come. David says, God's timing is always perfect, so the fact that you are leaving tonight is divine timing. May our Lord protect you in his travelling mercies on your journey, praying that you make it out safely. God bless you, man. Thank you for that one. I was actually planning to leave on Monday. I decided to make it earlier because of everything. I don't want to get... I don't want flights and stuff to be cancelled. So, yeah, we were actually meant to be leaving because obviously I start my Thailand fitness retreat on Tuesday for 2 months. So I was already planning to go basically this time. It's just that I've had to rush out of here because there is a lot of shit going on relatively close to where I am. And Delhi's probably the least safe big city out of the entirety of the country right now in regards to what could happen. So it's just a bit of a nervous wait until 1:40 a.m. tonight. So 4-0 here for the Waz. 8.5 minutes in. Metcalf should get this kick. Is it raining or is he just sweating really bad? It's not raining. He's sweating really strongly at the moment. TH says, what a bloody win for the Titans. Gus is right that the team players should be doing better. I think that yesterday, until proven otherwise, is still more on the Knights than the Titans. And I know the Titans fans are going to hate me saying that. But they can also understand it. We lost 5 games going to that game. The Knights are a team that when they are really poor, you know, they are down there in the bottom 4 of the table as well alongside us. They completely threw that game in every aspect, and when you throw a game of that epic proportions, hey, guess what? The other team is have to come back regardless of who they are because they are professional players at the end of the day. So, look, until proven otherwise, I need to see the Titans go and actually win a game again. The first half isn't removed. That still happened, but it was a fantastic comeback that was really exciting, and our fan base and community needed it for sure because it was getting really hot and tense. It still is hot and tense, but it just kind of patches up the wound for the time being, and hopefully the wound starts to heal. But until that wound heals, like, it's still the same shit with the Gold Coast until they ultimately go on a consistent run of form and actually do it time and time again. Second tackle over the Warriors at the 20. They do get that kick to make it 6-0. 10 minutes into the game here, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. 10 minutes in. Gavin says, hey, bro, dropped you a message on WhatsApp. I'm the guy in Hua Hin. I'll be there for a few more weeks. Glad you're safe over there. I'll be in Hua Hin on Tuesday, or maybe late Monday. And that's going to be Halasima who brings this ball out here to the 42 on 4 tackle. Bit of a better set here. Did he suss out the new digital ID for Thailand entry? Yeah, that was super quick. Very, very quick. It honestly took me less than 5 minutes. It really wasn't hard at all. And that's going to be a very high kick up into the air. Good chasing by Watinza Lesniak to put pressure on him. That should be 6 again. Yep, that's 6 again for the Warriors. The Dragons made a mistake, and I would say that comes down to Watinza Lesniak pushing the pace and getting the pressure on just then. That was really good there from Watinza Lesniak. Travis says, that's going to be a penalty to the Warriors. Penalty to the Warriors. Jeez, they are really dominating this opening 10 minutes of this game. Was it a wax museum you went to the other night? And how was your birthday? Oh, my birthday was like a week ago now. But we didn't end up actually going to the wax museum. When you travel, man, you realise, like, you need to live in the moment. And we just decided to go out for dinner that night and just have a good time with everybody. You got to kind of just live in the moment. You don't need to do stuff like that for a bit of a laugh. If it's the last night, you know, you'd rather just spend the time with the good people. So second tackle here, 10 metres away from the line. And they'll go out to the left. Good running by Ayers. Go Ayers! That's a strip. That's a strip. That's a strip. Oh, it's going to be called a strip, and it's going to be held up in the end. That should be a penalty to the Warriors, though. Yep, thank you. I was going to say, that is absolutely a strip. So penalty to the Warriors. They could go for the 2 to make it 8-0 here if they would like to. They could. It's definitely a strip there from Gutho, like a 1,000,000%. So he must have just played advantage. I'm okay with that. That's good. That's good there from the referee. They could go for the 8-0 here, or they could go for the try to really kick the boot in, but I'm pretty certain they're going to go for the kick, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So they're right in front. They are going to make this 8-0 here, otherwise. David says, honestly, I think the Knights will be winning the spoon this year. Same thing that I said for the Raiders in regards to nothing's been proven yet. Same thing, I'll go with the Knights because I'm just always concerned the Knights, they love to start off the season extremely poorly and then come home like a train and save Adam O'Brien. Adam O'Brien, I've said this week in, week out. I've said this year in, year out. Anybody who says that I've said otherwise, you're a liar. I have said Adam O'Brien should have been sacked the year that he was extended. He should have been sacked when he was extended. He should have been sacked before he was extended. He should have been sacked after he was extended. What is Adam O'Brien actually doing to get them into the name of winning the competition? If you are happy with being mediocre, then you will forever be mediocre. You will never progress beyond being mediocre unless you actively make changes against the consistency of the mediocrity. And that's what the Knights have done. They gave him a 5-year extension. A 5-year extension. What did he do to actually prove that he should have been the coach at that point? Like, sure, can you ask the question, which it can happen anytime, who's going to be the coach? But then again, at one point, Craig Bellamy wasn't a coach. At one point, Wayne Bennett wasn't a coach. There's been every single coach once was not an elite coach. You know, give somebody a chance. Give anybody a chance, because what's going to be worse than what you're currently going through in Newcastle as we currently speak? And I don't care. If they go and win 14 games, or they go and win their next 14 straight games, I couldn't care less. Because it doesn't do anything. Because they're just going to get themselves into 8th or 7th or whatever. They may win first week. They get knocked out by a big barnstorming margin the second week. Or they get knocked out by a big barnstorming margin the first week. Just making the 8 is not a success. If you're building like a Titans and you're trying to be successful in the future, 4th tackle over the Warriors, now 5th at the 35. If you're building like the Titans or the Tigers or these teams at the bottom of the table, and then you get to the top 8 and you get knocked out first week. It's success based off of the recent history. But the Knights have consistently been mediocre for years and years and years, and they rewarded Adam O'Brien with a 5-year contract. That's my biggest problem with how they've treated him. Is he the only problem there? I'm sure he's not, but you cannot tell me that Adam O'Brien has got it out of this team on a consistent basis. So third tackle now for the Dragons. Second tackle, they get the offload away. Damien Cook now will be third tackle at the 25. And if you disagree with me, let me know. Lagan Borsak says Titans 2 in a row next week against the weak-guarded Raiders / Faders. I hope so, man. We had a good chance. Well, they came back on us like you guys came back on them. So it'll be interesting to see how next week's game goes because they'll be hungry for it. Dragons nearly get away. They'll be taken... No, they get the offload away through Jaden Sewer. After King Tungia, then to Lucian Leilua. Leilua gets through. He gets the offload away, and they're away. Val Holmes, underneath, 35 metres out. Gutho, taken down 5 metres away from the line. Fifth tackle. He's trying to get up. They have to go quickly to the right. Why are you going straight? Damien Cook, that's Cook's fault. Oh, Damien Cook, you have butchered that. Damien Cook, you have butchered that no end. Why do players keep doing this? I don't understand it. That is so inexperienced from an experienced player of Damien Cook. You get the breakaway. You can physically notice the Warriors players still slowly coming back. He then decides to go straight through the ruck where the players who tackled are there and waiting instead of going out to the right where they're slowly getting back on side. I don't understand why players continuously do this season. Rachel Rice says, remember me, it's Rachel. It's the one that donated 100. Thank you very much, Rachel. I appreciate that. Maddie says, who scored, bro? Who scored for the Warriors? It was... I have to go remember. It was Luke Metcalf. That's right. Luke Metcalf scored. Jerome says, was it a fair penalty for the 2 points? Absolutely. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Guthrie, I don't even know why that's a question. It was a very clear strip. It's just the ref gave the advantage for them to nearly score a try. Fifth tackle now, 10 metres out, gives it off to Metcalf. Metcalf into the corner. Knocked back from the Warriors, out of the left-hand side. Chance here, Tane to a biggie! There's an ex-Titan for you. Tane to a biggie, Tane to a biggie, Tane to a biggie, Tane to a biggie. Try time for the Warriors. It is 12-0 here with a kick to come, but Warriors fans, I will warn you. The Broncos led 14-0 against the Rabbitohs. The Knights led 20-0 against the Titans. And the Raiders led 20-0 against the Bulldogs. What is the consistent factor through these three teams? All three of them lost. So please, this is looking good for you. But please, I beg you, do not think this is game over. Because we have seen 3 massive 13-plus comebacks this round alone. But it is 12-0 here with a kick to come. Legend pulls up the Waz. Kerryama says he's losing 3 games to the Waz bad. What? Is losing 3 games to the Waz bad? What do you mean? I don't understand your question. Justin Button says, Buller Brother, go to Warrior. Hoping my boys get the dub. Chee-hoo! It's looking good right now. Right now, it's looking good. Lucas says, other consistent factor is none of those teams are the Dragons. Sure. What? Sure, but like the Raiders are a much better team than the Dragons. What does that comment even really mean? Ben says Cook's not been the answer for the Dragons this year. I didn't think he was the answer when they signed him. Damien Cook at the Rabbitohs was not the player that we knew from 5 years ago when he was one of the best hookers in the game. Like nowadays, sure, Damien Cook is a solid player, but he's nowhere near... The reason why Damien Cook was such a good player, one sec, Metcalf from the sideline will miss a kick. Not a bad kick for his standards, though. So 12-0 to the Warriors, 18 minutes into the game. The issue is that Cook at the Rabbitohs was years past what his best was. And the reason why Cook was great was because, guess what? He was a beach sprinter. I'm sure you haven't heard that before. So he was very quick off the mark. He was very speedy. He was young. It just had a lot going for him. Unfortunately, the longer he got on, the less speed that he did have. He's not that same nifty little player that he once was. He's kind of really significantly come back to the pack so much that he's mid-table in regards to hookers nowadays. So why did the Dragons actually go out and sign him when they had Jacob Little, who was actually doing a really good season, had a good season last year? It made no sense to me why they need to go and get Cook, relegate Little to the bench, and then implement Little inside. And it's like, well, you can kind of see already that Little still deserves the hooking role. You want to bring Cookie off the bench, sure, but how many years contract was he signed for? I think that the Dragons signed him based off of name, not based off of anything else. They signed him based off of name, not out of need, not out of necessity, just out of want. And the want didn't make any sense at the time. So it's like, sure, you've got hooker rotation. Warriors are going to knock this ball on. They're going to. Oh no, they're going to say it went backwards. Damn! A lot of the time they call that forward. When you sign players out of want rather than need, Warriors out of the left-hand side. Harris Savita taken down at the 40. Good tackle there from the Dragons on 4 tackle. The Warriors are all over him right now. When you sign players out of want rather than need, your team suffers dramatically. Happens all the time. This is why when you see the Storm make signings, it's not because they just want to play for the sake of it. Like, sure, if they wanted Dave, they'd come in for Dave right now. But they don't need Dave. Oh, it's a knock on there from the Dragons to the 10. And Dragons, this is getting really, really concerning. Dragons having a nightmare start to this game. This is a nightmare. So yeah, you don't see the big time teams go out and sign players just because they want them. They go out and sign players because they are in need of them. And if you look at how Craig Bellamy signs, he doesn't go out and sign David Fifita. He goes out and sign Elias Katoa from the Warriors, who isn't necessarily getting anything crazy going, and then builds him into the player he is. Now listen, I will say I think Stefano Utukamanu wasn't really. I didn't ever see it at the Tigers. I didn't see it for New South Wales, and I definitely don't see it at the Storm. But that's my personal objective opinion. The point of the matter is, though, is that he is also not this massive, massive, big star name like what we're talking about there. Warriors with the ball at the 10. It's still the first tackle. Now they're 5 metres away here from the line. Lucas's Dragons recruitment is so odd because none of their signings fit their timeline. Bingo. Wade Egan gets it at the back into Metcalf. He drops it, goes backwards, though it's fine. Kurt Capewell gets the ball to 15. Second tackle. 20 minutes gone here, guys. 20 minutes gone. Hit that like button and subscribe. Why are the Dragons fans booing? That ball went backwards by about literally 10 metres. Aaron Clark here with a strong run. He'll get this ball to the 9, but he gets the offload away. Here's the grass, gets up to Mitchell Barnett, who's got he's got some steam behind him right now. Can't get the offload away, though. Third tackle, 5 metres away. 20 minutes in. Barnett rolls it back to Wade Egan. Wade Egan up to Metcalf. Harris Tavita kicks it through with a little grubber. Not a good kick at all there, and the Dragons will get the ball to 3. Gary says, blimey, I popped out to make a coffee at 0-0. How long was I gone? You've gone a long time, mate. Gee whiz, we're in season 2027 right now. Did you watch the Perth Wankers get in yet? Travis says, I think Cook and Gutho and Val Holmes haven't improved Dragons this year like I thought they would. Wrong. Gutho has been fantastic. You cannot have a crack at Gutho. That's going to be a penalty here to the Dragons at the 20. And they go for a quick tap. Here's Damien Cook. Oh, make us eat our words, Damo. Make us eat our words. Taking out the 40. So first tackle at the 40 for the Dragons. Gutho has been fantastic. You cannot blame him for what's happening right now. I will say that Damien Cook has not improved them at all and has actually regressed a little bit in regards to the hooker department. And then I will go and say with Val Holmes, he is heavily reliant upon his half situation. And the half situation is diabolical at the Dragons because they've got Lachlan Elias, Carl Flanagan, and now Lycan King Tungia. And it's like Lycan's a young lad. Flanagan's never got it going anywhere, whether it be the Sharks, the Roosters. I don't even know who was the other team he went to. Sharks, Roosters, somebody else. And then now the Dragons. And then you've also... And Ilias never got it doing at the Rabbitohs. He was compared a lot with like Tanner Boyd in their similar situations at the Titans and Rabbitohs. So Val Holmes, unfortunately, he's not going to be a game breaker unless he gets given the ball in a good area. And then when he gets given the ball in a good area, he can make something even better. But it comes down to how the spine's rolling and how it's working out. So second tackle here for the Dragons. There was an injury just then. They're at their own 45. Daz mate member for 1 month says, all hail the Kings of the West. Is the Bulldogs West? Are the Bulldogs West? I wouldn't. I'm not from Sydney, so I wouldn't know necessarily. But I would have said the only teams that I would consider West would be the Tigers, the Eels, and the Panthers. And the Tigers is a slight debate at that as well. I guess it depends on which side of the merger you're looking at. So fifth tackle now for the Dragons. Blake Lowry off to Flanagan. Flanagan gets the ball across with a great pass, and then they kick this ball down the sideline. Tyrell Sloan, but with chance of the ball brings it out into the 15 on first tackle. David says, Dragons board hired Flano based off his premiership capabilities. However, it seems the Dragons board failed to recognise the importance variable in Flano's premiership winning formula. I knew where that was going from the start, man. I knew where that was going before I got to the end. Legally, I don't think I should speak about that publicly, but with that being said, it was official, so... they had us in the first half, not gonna lie. Dads, mate, don't worry, mate. Shake your head. I know how it feels. Scuggle says, Sue have been the best for the Dragons, hands down. Had his best game last week. I think Jaden Sewell's got, a lot to prove in regards to getting dropped from Origin last year. I would have liked to have seen the same from Dave, to be fair. Do you think if Titans didn't roll Knights, Fafita would be... you've been removed because you said Fafita with an A. Fafita will be back next week. Do you know when he's coming back? Fafita's injured, but also that situation is kind of leaning down the path of the full-blown rebuild and to moving on from big-time contracts. Forward tackle now at the 45. And Damien Cook will go out to the left, and it'll be David Clemmer now at the 40 on fit tackle. Ben says, a lot of Dragons fans want Glover as their 7. Would it be right play to pick him? Glover? Who's Glover? Is this like a guy coming through the Illawarra system or what? David says, Canterbury is the top of South Sydney. At a pinch, it's Southwest. That's what I was thinking. I wouldn't have said that it was like maybe inner west. Because I know like people would claim maybe Balmain is inner west, yeah? So that's why I kind of referred to the Tigers. Like west, you could absolutely argue Campbelltown, but that's like southwest as well, isn't it? I'm not massive on geography in Sydney. Like I have a good read of it, but not like massive on it. Forward tackle, Wade Egan up to Aaron Clark at the 40, and then he'll bring it out here to the 50 on fit tackle. Seth Rice says, Bulldogs are West Canterbury, Bankstown area. That doesn't really help us out, mate, because you're just saying West Canterbury, Bankstown area. But unless you just forgot to put a comma. So you're saying Bulldogs are West, and Canterbury, Bankstown area is West. Would you not say that's inner West? Jerome says, for South, I'd say Rabbitohs, Sharks, and Eels. Did you say you think that Parramatta is South? Have you been to Parramatta? Are you telling me you think that Parramatta is South? Brother, I'm sure that's... I must be misreading this comment. Because if you're going to say South, you could add Coggera in, that side of the merger with the Dragons. You're definitely adding in the Sharks, and sure, yeah, you can add in South Sydney, literally in the name. But I'm sure you're not saying that Parramatta is in South. Matty says, true, there's 80 minutes in the game, though. Must have thought they had us. There's been a lot of comebacks this round, man. Wattine's Lesnak at the 13. It's going to be first tackle for the Waz. Lucas says, William Mason said it best about Fafita. I didn't see what he had to say, but I would assume so. He tells it how it is. Sometimes his opinions are very full frontal and overboard, but he also has a lot of realistic opinions that I definitely agree with as well. That's how life is. And that's what people should learn in regards to war situations. So that's going to be a penalty here to the Warriors. Everyone's going to disagree. You don't have to agree with everyone. That doesn't mean that you have to go and murder people for their beliefs. Lagan Borsak says, Titans really should be getting Fafita out of Titans early, and like now, too much of a hazard for the Titans. A lot of times the Titans got used there. It's not as easy as what you're saying. Like, sure, but it's not as easy as what you're saying. Gary says, following on from last week, watching old NRL videos, I stumbled across a chap known as Fatty. He had me in stitches reminiscing about the game. Yeah, Fatty Vorton, awesome. We loved Fatty Vorton. If you're old enough to remember the footy show, for people out there, then you know how funny Fatty is. Fatty and Chief Harrigan, the Big Man, those kind of Peter Sterlo before he left and did his own thing. Aaron Clark looked inside here to Metcalf, then off to Lika Halasima, and Halasima is going to get this ball here to the 28 or so, third tackle. Santa says, judging by how every game this round has gone, Warriors won't score in the second half. I'm currently 3 from 4, only getting Eels wrong. Picked Waz this game. Damn, so you... okay. Yeah, fair enough. You're lucky on 3 of those. You're super lucky on 3 of those. So fifth tackle now at the 10. To be fair, I did tip the Rabbits, I did tip the Titans, and I genuinely thought they would win. Fifth tackle, Metcalf kicks it through, and that's going to be a 7 tackle set. And then the last game was a toss-up. I did take the Raiders, so I got that one wrong, but up 3 from 4 too. I just got the Raiders one wrong. Jonah Glover is his name, and he plays for the Dragons reserves. I don't know a lot about him, but Dragons are really desperate. Sure, but we have Zane Harrison, who can be our 7, but we're not going to throw him into the fire too early because we've ruined a lot of halfbacks that way. Lagan Borsak says, fun fact, the suburb of Bankstown is really nearly directly in line with the suburb of Parramatta. Just one is south and one is north, so they are west. Okay, but on a technical standpoint, it's like, sure, like, it is. People don't think of just like. What I'm trying to say is, like, west of Sydney, sure, but would you class. Technically, Ultimo is west of Sydney Centre. And Ultimo is basically in the city. So, based off of that, it's like that would be west of Sydney. So, that's Ultimo is west, which obviously it isn't. Forte, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would class the Bulldogs as a Western Sydney team, but then again, you guys would know more about it than me than in Sydney. It's just from an outsider's perspective. They kick that ball across. The Dragons here at the 10, knock it back. Moses Sully, and that's going to be a knock on. Warriors ball at the 10. Lucas says, the gist of it was Fafita has all the talent in the world, but his mentality is the issue, and how he responds to this makes or breaks his career in the sense of realising the potential he has. I agree. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that, unfortunately, I've done a lot of David Fafita defending. I've also had enough of David Fafita defending. I need to see it at this point. Like, at this point, you need to go out and do it. I've done plenty. If you guys follow me on all socials, on Instagram and whatnot, Dave and I had a problem at one stage because I was, last year. Like, at the point of it is, I love that guy, but there's only so much defending you can do before you need to go out and prove it on a consistent level, and he hasn't done that for years. So Harris Fafita gets his board out of the 45. He had a great game against the Dragons the other week, but ultimately there's far and few between nowadays. So I need to see him go out and prove me right for a time, rather than consistently prove me wrong in regards to not getting it done on a consistent level. So Metcalf now will put that ball into the corner. It's going to be Watini Lesniak. It's going to be a knock on for the Dragons. So it's going to be Warriors ball, the 13 on first tackle. First tackle of the Warriors. I don't know why Voss was extremely surprised that he touched that. It was very clearly touched that. Warriors now, Jackson forward, 2 metres away from the line. First tackle. Canterbury more southwest Sydney rather than West Sydney. That's what I'm trying to say. So you wouldn't call it a Western Sydney club. Oh, Halasima, what was that defense from the Dragons? Luckily, it didn't screw it up too much, and that's going to be a knock-on from the Warriors. Halasima wanted to be challenged. I wouldn't personally use a challenge right about now. I wouldn't use a challenge right this very second. So they are going to challenge it, though. They are going to use a challenge. Oath, if he had a better attitude / work ethic, he would be the best second row in the game. He has been the best second in the game from about 2021 to 2020 to 2022, and then it's kind of really switched up. Seth Rice says, easy if you find yourself in Middle Eastern Sydney, you're in Bulldog. So that's going to be challenge successful here for the Warriors, and it'll be Warriors ball. So they'll take it. They'll take it. I'm a bit nervous with Watini's Lesniak return, if you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? Alright, so Warriors ball here at the 10. Loko Pacific Tonga is on his NRL debut and he is on the field. I hope I'm able to check into my hotel early tomorrow to be able to stream those games from Thailand. Oh, actually, to be fair, what time do those games start? I might actually be able to do it. So, tomorrow's games... Oh, no, this is an Australian time that I'm looking at there. Because Thailand's 2 hours in front of where I am. So, right now, it's... They're going to take the 2 points here, the Warriors. They're going to take a penalty to make it 14 points. 1:30, so... This game started about half an hour ago, so 1. So that would be 3 p.m. start there. But then again, this started a little bit later. Jeez. Anyway, point is that I hope I'm able to stream those games tomorrow. Because I arrive at like 6 a.m. Who are hitting 3 hours behind Sydney. No, so I'll be in Bangkok tomorrow night and also Monday night. Valvoline, you know what I mean? I think I know what you mean, but I don't at the same time. Ben, if anyone in this chat asked me who doesn't know what he means, I genuinely would say it would be you. Out of every single person who comes to this chat on a regular basis, if there is one person, individually speaking, that probably doesn't know what he's mean, it would be the person... Oh, no, they're going to... Oh, he got the kick. They got the kick, so it will be 14-0 to the Warriors. 10 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button, subscribe, and also if you want to see what I'm talking about with India tomorrow, check out the BKRtravel channel in the pinned comment. But yes, Ben, out of all people on this chat, I would say that you would have the least idea about what he's referring to. Oh, same time zone. Okay. So 3 hours. Oh, so that'll be good then. So, for example, actually, Gavin, while you're there, can you please go on to Google right now, and can you let me know what time the first game starts tomorrow? Because I've got to try and get an early check-in so I can stream both games. Jerome says, Dallin Martinez-Lesniak has significantly less power than the wingers we have been playing. This affects both ATTK, attack and defense. Why would I have known that? why would I have known that, brother? That seems like a very objective opinion, but why would I know what you mean? Gary says, "Gotta go, guys. Stay safe, please. Have a great weekend, everybody. Appreciate you, man. 1:35 time. Oh, beautiful. I'll be able to check in. That's what we're talking about. Because I think check-in's probably like I know in India check-in times are like 12. Well, you can get in at 11:30, 12. But I don't know about what check-in times are like in Bangkok, to be fair. 4 tackle here. Then again, I just got to hope that Pakistan's please stop sending drones and your Air Force into Indian airspace, because I would like to get on my plane tonight without the planes closing. So 5th tackle over the Warriors at the halfway point, and it'll be Harris Tavita kicks this ball down here to the 3. Clint Gutherson brings it back out to about the 15 or so. Gavin says, check in 2 p.m. usually, but as you know, they're always lovely. We'll let you in early. Well, I'll just message them and try and give them a call beforehand today. Because for me, it's only 1:36. So Damien Cook will have a seat. So Jacob Little is now on the field here for the Dragons. 3rd tackle at 35. Like, Tigers and Storm will be interesting, because I think that Storm win 13+, but we'll see how... Oh, it's going to be a penalty here to the Dragons. I think the Storm win 13+. With that being said, they've been super rocky lately, and the Tigers are a very rocky team themselves. Not going to read that comment out. David says, in the DWZ, that's one of the WA's most prolific try scorers. The Martinez-Lesniak, who is one of the best running meters consistently in the WA's team. That Martinez-Lesniak. That's why I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't understand why people would be worried about Martinez-Lesniak coming in when he is... one of their highest try scorers. He's the guy who puts the ball over the line way more often than not. Like, I'm confused why there's like a hesitancy from Warriors fans in regards to the guy. Gutherson now gives it off to Luciano Leilua. Leilua is going to be 10 metres away from the line, 3rd tackle. CJ Parker says, go to the live game. Go to the McDonald's job application. So that's going to be a knock on here from the Dragons, and it will be Warriors ball at the 10. Leilua knocks the ball on. Right in the beautiful little area there. I'm going to read this comment out just so I can tell you an idiot. What do you think about the Bears finding out Tino has a get-out clause in his contract for 2027? Okay, guys, I'm going to really reiterate this for you guys. The media is telling you that Tino is leaving. I know Tino. I have spoken to Tino. Tino ain't leaving. And honestly, it's probably best that he does for his own career, but he loves his community and he loves his club just as much as I. So when I say to you guys, when you see how I love this club and I love this community, I can promise you, based off of my conversations individually with Tino, privately, I see him in the same wavelength with my mentality towards the Gold Coast community. Right, I see him. He doesn't want to leave. He isn't coming out saying he's going to leave. He had a tough situation in regards to a couple of years ago with the contract get-out clauses. And yet he still signed for 10 years. 10 years. Like, I don't understand what else he needs to prove to say that he wants to stay at this club. He loves the Gold Coast. He wants to be here. And that's not just based off of opinion. Like, that's based off of word for word what he says, whether it be publicly or privately. Tino's not going to the fucking Perth Bears. So 5th tackle at 45. If you're talking about Dave, then sure. Dave is absolutely a likely opportunity for them. But I can promise you that Tino is not on the cards. And that's that down to his own choice, not anybody else's. So first tackle at the 15. But I say this all the time. That's why it gets so frustrating when you have to reply like this. Because, like, I get that you want to buy into the drama and all that of the NRL media landscape, and we've been absolutely slapped this week on the media. But the media can also go and feel free to go and get fucked. That's what I have to say about the media, who just wants to shit on the club 24/7 so that they can have a news report about something that's not even remotely close to true. You know, like the media tells you that Des Hasler's going to get sacked in the coming weeks. If we had lost the Knights, he was getting sacked. He's not getting sacked this year. Even if we lost every single game for the rest of this year, I'm pretty certain they'd keep him. Dragons, the 50, the 40, the 35, the 30. Good run down the wing, and it'll be 25 metres out of the line. Fit tackle. I wanted ball sack. Say, Dragons here. Val Holmes kicks the ball back up. Where's the bounce going to come? Bounces back up. And dropout coming up here. Dropout coming up. Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough, Skunkle. I'm a timey out, ball sacks. Fair enough, mate. See, it says, how long is first half? I forgot. 5 minutes, mate. 5 minutes is how long first half is. Doubt he goes to Perth if he leaves too. Get into him, Lucas. Matty says, for feeding the left centre, Jaden Campbell, a little bit heavier at winger. Mean duo he'd eat any other centre. He's quick enough. They've tried him in centre before. It hasn't worked out, bro. They've tried him in centre a couple of times now. It hasn't worked out every time. But I understand your thought process, and I don't disagree with the thought process based off of how you would expect David Fafita to play in the centres, but it just hasn't worked out multiple times. But the Dragons will get the ball here at the 10 now. If they score before half-time, they're still well and truly in this game. It's not like they're out of the game even down 14-0. We've already seen one team come back from quite literally 14-0 this week. First tackle, Dragons gets it off here to Flanagan. Flanagan then off to Jack de Belin, who is 5 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Now give it underneath here to Little. Chance of the Dragons, 2 metres out. Oh, was he saying on the wing? So I didn't even notice that part. Oh, Jaden Campbell. Yeah, Jaden Campbell will be wasted on the wing. Oh, Warriors get the ball. Penalty. Penalty to the Dragons here. 6 again inside 10. Don't get the advantage. So it'll be a penalty to the Dragons. 10 metres out. I agree with you, Lucas. Sorry, I didn't even clock on with that one there. I immediately locked into the David Feeder in the centres. But no, JC would be way too limited in the capacity of what he would be able to achieve. And he's not a winger. He's got a lot more ball playing skills than to be a wing. You have to put him into the spine. All right, first tackle, gets it off to Flanagan, then off to Jack de Belin, and de Belin's going to be 5 metres away, gets the offload away. Here's a chance, Jacob Little! Oh, he'll be held up. They'll check it, but it's going to be held up here. They will check it. I'm telling you, Jacob Little should be at the start of Dragons fans. Matty says, yeah, but he's not utilised enough. He's too good to have games off. What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean he's not utilised enough? He is the 7 right now. I don't understand what you mean by he's not used enough. Need to hold on until half time. Yeah, look, I don't think, based off of how this weekend's gone, a try here could be quite detrimental to the Warriors, to be fair. All right, so the Dragons here. Third tackle was held up. That was correct. Third tackle, 4 metres out. Jaden Stewart rolls this ball back to Little. Little off to King Tungia. Then Flanagan. Flanagan to Jaden Stewart. And Stewart is 2 metres away from the line. 4 tackle. 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Jacob Little. He'll flick it across to Flanagan. Flanagan goes himself. Take it down. 4 metres short. Fit tackle. Good defense here from the Warriors right now. Jacob Little off to King Tungia. Puts it up into a good area. They go up. Knock on here from the Warriors. It's going to be a 7 tackle. They're going to say knock on Dragons first. I would challenge this. If I'm the Dragons, I would challenge this. Yeah, they are going to challenge this. I don't understand. I definitely thought that was a knock on from the Warriors. Drag second half comeback on the cards. Always a chance of a comeback in this game, son. Always a chance of a comeback with the Rugby League. Oh, no, it is knocked backwards from the Dragons. Well, he gets his hand in between Tuapic's hands. Oh, but it also comes off Tane Tuapic's hands, so it is going to be a successful challenge. Lucas says, if you're talking about Dave, Matty, sure the Titans underutilise him. No, he's talking about Jaden Campbell. But only so much you can do with a bloke who doesn't hunt work. He's referring to Jaden Campbell when he says that he's not utilised enough. He's too good to have. Unless if Matty used to about Fafita, then I've misread that comment. To be fair, so challenge successful. So the Dragons will get the ball here. 10 metres out of the line. Both teams have won a challenge, which shows the refereeing needs a little bit of work. All right, so 0 tackle here for the Dragons. They are 5 metres out. Usually they put it out to the 10, but sure. So Flanagan off to Little, and then now they're going to be 10 metres away from the line. First tackle. Matty, can you clarify if you were referring to David or were you referring to JC at the time? Flanagan off to Dylan Egan, and Egan is 5 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Minute and a half left here the first half. Jacob Little, he goes himself 6 again, so they will probably finish off this this half with the ball here, Dragons. If the this is a very integral part of the game here. Dragons score, they're well and back in it. If the Warriors hold out, then Dragons don't feel like they can score. Val Holmes, try time for the Dragons. Mr. Clint Gutherson goes bang in the corner, and it will be a try to the Dragons. They're down by 10, 14-4, but they've got a kick to come from the sideline. 1 minute to go. That is a huge try just at the end of the first half. Yeah, I wasn't sure, but I don't know how you underutilise the guy who the attack runs through. That's what I was trying to get at, but I didn't really know how to put it. Oh, you were referring to Dave. Oh, yeah. Okay, so, but why does that relate to JC being on the wing then? Because I don't see JC being a winger at all. I think there was a chance maybe a couple of years ago if they wanted to transition him, but you take away so much of the main aspects of JC's game by doing that. Yeah, I don't know him personally, man, but if that's the case, yeah, I don't know. Oh, if you're talking about in regards to doesn't work, yeah, like, I know you don't know him personally, you're still able to have an opinion on his rugby league ability. Maybe not his ability, but what he does with his rugby league ability. People are allowed to have opinions as long as they're not being like completely disrespectful to the actual human behind it, because people don't know how to separate rugby league entertainment, rugby league playing ability, and also just human being themselves. You're still able to have an opinion on it. But I mean, just got to watch the game. Fair? So Val Holmes from the wing. Tough kick. This is the last kick of the first half. So Valentine Holmes will bang miss a kick. So it will stay 14-4 to the Warriors at half time. If you are a big believer in hoodoos and you think probably the Dragons come back from here, if you're looking at how the comp's gone this weekend, the Dragons also probably come back from here. But I just think the Warriors should still be able to keep on going with this one. Let's go through some stats here, and then I'm going to go and grab a bottle of water. Obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And if you have not subscribed to BKRtravel yet, trust me, you're going to want to see my video on India tomorrow over there talking about the situation that I am currently in. But all right, let's get through some of these stats as we speak. Metcalf and Taintua Pecky scored for the Warriors. Gutho for the Dragons right on halftime. The team stats is 53% possession to the Warriors, 47% possession to the Dragons. Remember, these are all a guide because they will update these stats throughout halftime. Time possession, the Dragons have had about a minute less than the Warriors, with 12.5 to 13.5 for the Wars. This is actually incredible here from the Warriors' completion rate. But the completion rate for the Dragons is 75%. They're 15 from 20 through this game so far. That is below what you would like to be seeing. 75% is not exactly there. You want to be seeing about that 78%, 80% mark. 75% is okay. It's not diabolical, but it's also not great. Warriors, on the other hand, they're at 100%. Through the first half, the Warriors are 20 from 20 completions. They have not made a mistake in regards to their sets. That is incredible. That's perfect. They had a perfect half in regards to completion rate through 20 sets is amazing. There's 87 runs for 863 metres to the Warriors with 301 post-contact, whilst the Dragons have 74 runs for 749 metres and 247 post-contact. So there is a 12-run difference. It's about 110 run meters Warriors way. That is effectively saying that it's very similar. Like it's very similar if the Dragons were able to get the ball you would nearly argue the Dragons, if they had the same amount of ball, they actually would be just above them realistically. And that's kind of how you look at it, because now it's 9 runs, they're 90 meters behind, right? So that's you try to average out the per run 10 meters is the good marker. Right now they are quite literally even at 87.78, 863, 773 with the updates. They would be even. So very similar run meters. Very similar run meters there. And the post contact's not too crazy. Line breaks is 3-2 Dragons way. Tackle breaks is 11-6 Warriors way. Average set distance is 38.64 for the Dragons, which is upper end expected tier. And then the 41.12 for the Warriors is lower end on the really good tier. So both teams aren't doing too bad in regards to set distance, and they're not too separated in that regards. 3.4 seconds on the average play the ball speed for the Warriors, 3.68 for the Dragons. That's really slow for the Dragons, but the Warriors are kind of on the pacier side, nothing too red hot though. Offloads is 7-3 Dragons way. Kick defusal is both at 57%. Defensively, the Dragons are actually having a phenomenal game. 92.06% on the effective tackle percentage is brilliant, with 197 tackles made, 11 missed tackles, and 6 ineffective, whilst the Warriors are at 89.78%, which is still very good. It's not exceptional, but it's very good. 167 tackles made. Only the 8 missed tackles is really good, but 11 ineffective is what's hurting them in regards to the percentage. So both teams can't complain about the defensive structure at the moment. And then negative play, 7 errors to the Dragons, 2 to the Warriors. That's awful from the Dragons. Penalties you can see is 4 apiece. Ruck infringements is 1 apiece, and inside the 10 is 1-0 Dragons way. So overall, it's actually quite even stats. I don't think the Warriors are significantly beating out the Dragons in the statistical department. Now they're at 95% of the completion rates. They're not perfect anymore. They're 20 from 21. But overall, it's still unbelievable. It's still spectacular in regards to the completion rate. So, yeah, overall, you look through all these stats, and it's still game on. It actually is. It's still game on. The Warriors, statistically, haven't shown why they're up 14-0. They were the deserving leaders in the first half. They were the better team on the eye test. But specifically, statistically speaking, the Dragons are still in this game. They absolutely are. If they can come out and play with the belief that they're going to come back here, then there's a good chance that they do. It just comes down to who's the better team in the second half. And although the Warriors have a 10-point head start, that doesn't really mean shit in today's game. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting second half. It's going to be an interesting second half. Drag second half come back on the cards. Lucas says, I don't know either. Matty says, I can say play for play, mate. All good if you feel different. You're talking to me? United sucks. It's a very bad half. I don't know how we're only behind by 10 points. That is absolutely incorrect. How do you come to that conclusion after the stats we just read out? How do you come to the conclusion after the stats we just read out? Yeah, sure, okay, the 7 errors is brutal, but outside of that, the meters are pretty much the same if you have the same amount of ball. It's just unfortunately that you've made, some mistakes here and there. The possession is pretty much similar. Like I said, the runs are similar. The set distance is similar. The play the ball speed may be slow, but it's not awful. Same amount of tackle breaks, more line breaks than the Warriors, more offloads than the Warriors. The defensive effective tackle percentage is better than the Warriors. So you seem like a very, very negative here towards your own team, the Dragons, because it doesn't really make sense. You said that you thought the Dragons had no chance to win this game before the game started, and then even after the first half, where look, I can observe and see that it's 14-4 to the Warriors, and the Warriors did deserve the first half lead. But you look at the stats, and as a neutral, you're like, how do you have such a negative opinion on this Dragons team right now when then it's not actually looking as bad as you're making it out to be? I'll make a deal with you. If Dragons make the comeback, I'll sub up and give the sub. Why don't you just do it anyway? How about that? How about that one? How about that one? Why don't you just do it anyway? But there you go, guys. That's the halftime stats. I'm going to be back in a second. Give me a couple of minutes. You can sit here and complain about the Dragons. And I'll be back in a few momentos. Time. We're back. We're back. G'day to all the lurkers. What's going on? Rumours have it if you subscribe and like, you won't find a spider in your bed tonight. That is actually a correct rumour. That is actually a correct rumour. Actually, let me just quickly check in regards to the updates, in regards to what's going on here. I need to always keep up to date with what's going on so that my flight leaves. One terrorist killed, wanted in IC-814 hijacking case. Pakistan military is divided in its loyalty. Good. News channel claiming country destroyed. No, nothing really serious. Oh, wait. Okay, beautiful. Delhi airport operations remain normal. Commercial flights halted at Pune and Nashik airports. Okay, that's the main thing. Just hold out. Just hold out a few more hours, lads, please. Just, can we stop? Can we stop bombing places just for a few? Well, don't stop it in general, but at the very least for a few more hours, so that I can, at the very least, get to Thailand tonight. Please, that's all I'm asking, man. Can you turn your sound up, please? I'm old. Really? Is it not? Is it too? Woo! Woo! Is that better for you, Jay? Is that better? I don't know why. It's like gone. Like for me, like this is on the highest level there. It's on the highest level, so I don't understand why it has done that. Stay safe. Hopefully get to Thailand safe. I will. It's fine. It's just obviously anything can happen at any given time. Have ever been to Hua Hin? I've never been to Thailand before. I've never been to that end before, so no, it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to having a swim, really, because everywhere you go here, I can swim in this hotel where I'm at, but any other place you go to swim usually costs like 600 rupees, and it's not about the money. 600 rupees is what, $12, but it's about the principle a lot of the time. They'll tell you it's free, and then when you get there, it's 600 rupees, and you just shut your mouth. But we did find a beautiful lake, which is it's going to be such an unreal video to put out. A beautiful private lake. Myself and a few of my friends that were in Illawarra, we've had a beautiful lake to swim in, and it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mitchell says, F me. What do you mean, F me? F me what? Who's F me? Blaze is going to hire a lady and is going to get a big shock. Don't think I'm going to be hiring a lady. I'm going for a... Oh, what's happening here? Why is Sundo saying, well, shit? Is something happened? Oh, are you talking about... Jay asked me to be louder. He said it was really quiet. He said it was super quiet, lads. You can actually blame Jay for this. I'm going to put this out here then. Jay, this is your fault. I was 45 seconds behind. Oh. Blame Jay. It's not my fault, son. It's not my fault, buddy. Jay told me it was super quiet. Fell in love with the place when I came 5 months ago. Came for 2 weeks and still here. I'll head back to Sydney at some stage. Yeah, I fell in love with Udaipur, man. I know you're talking about Hua Hin, but I fell in love with the city of Udaipur here in India. It's just an absolutely incredible place full of really good people who weren't just trying to scam you 24/7 and actually, treated you like a human. When you come to places like Delhi and Jaipur and Agra, you get treated like an ATM. But when you go to a place like Udaipur and whatnot, and I would have loved to go more places, but obviously I need to get out today. Yeah, it was such an incredible place, man. Jay is also 145 years old. Yeah, that is a good point. Jay is 80. He is old. Yeah, he is going deaf, that's for sure. We know that one. But all right, the Warriors and the Dragons have come out here for the second half. Smack the thumbs up. Smack the subscribe. Boom, boom, boom. Get up into it. Harden up, Mitchell, Jay says. Well, Mitchell's got a tough, harden-up game tomorrow against the Melbourne Storm down there in Melbourne. Actually, is it in Melbourne? Is it in Melbourne or is it a Tigers home game? It is in Melbourne. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, good luck. Good luck to all the Tigers fans out there because you got a tough one tomorrow. But all right, the Dragons will be kicking this ball off into the Warriors. Like I said, if the Warriors win this game, they will go into secundo position. Mitchell says Melbourne are Cats. Well, they did lose last week to a team that lost today, but I don't know. I think I've got Storm 13 plus in that one. Where did this Jay being old joke come from? Been watching streams since 2021 and I don't know. It came from his birth year of 1826. That's where it came from. That Jay Jay quite literally, watched. Jay quite literally was there on the Titanic. He turned like 70 at the time. All right, so 10 metres out here from their own line of the Warriors, and there's an injury already. Jackson Ford on the first tackle of the second half has actually gone down. He's looking very much worse for wear at the moment. What happened here? Was it... Oh, it's an accidental head clash there with Jack DeBellin. Jason said he's seen the Big Bang. He did, actually. He did. He did see the Big Bang. Not just the theory as well. But yeah, he is all over the place here, Jackson Ford. God bless him. There's some insanely cool shit to see here. You don't see it on Google much, all within 20 kilometers. I met a local here who's ex-military, and he's took us on some insane bike rides too. Yeah, it should be good. Like, obviously, I'm going to be flat out with my fitness retreat, but no, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to a nice little steam room / sauna and an ice bath. That's what I'm looking forward to. Gonna need that, and also the massages that are included. Yes, please, mate. Yes, please, because you can't really get, like, you can get massages here, but you just gotta be careful about where you go here, because, like, and I know Thailand's the same, but like the fitness retreat is gonna be actual ones. You just gotta be super careful where you go here, because you could easily pay for the massage, go in, they just like touch your shoulders like this, and then ask extra services, and you're like, man, I actually just genuinely want a massage. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a virgin. I don't need to go to a massage place to hook up with someone, right? Like, unless you don't have any kind of ability to talk to women, you really shouldn't need to go to a massage place like that. But the point of the matter is that it's so difficult to get a genuine massage in this country, because everyone they all just think you're there to have sex, and you're just like, come on, man. I genuinely just want you to damn well untie my knots in my shoulders. Bit of the good old Thai herbal. United States is warring when you get a full body massage. You have to put on these late. Okay, I'm going to ask you to redo that in English, please. No, I just want you to do that in English. This is an English speaking channel, United States, so would like an English speaking message there. Lucas says, really, I thought the happy ending would just be an added service that's optional. Have you been overseas to Asia, man? A lot of the time, these are just fronts for brothels, effectively. Like, they're just, a lot of the time, you'll go, massage places in these countries can be quite literally just a front for a brothel. Ben says, Blaze the scoreboard. What's happened with the scoreboard? Oh, thank you. Jeez, that's Jay's fault again. He's slacking, the old Jabo. The old Jabo, he's slacking today. Slacking today. Then again, he's always slacking. All right, so third tackle for the Dragons at the 32. They go out to the left of Jaden Sewer. And Sewer's going to be at the 40. Who just got ruled out with a shoulder injury? Sam's fault. It's always Sam's fault. All right, so Leilua, he'll get this ball to the 40 on the Warriors side of the field. It's only a 10-point game. This game is well and truly still on, man. Like, anyone who thinks this game's over, it's not yet. It's not yet. Flanagan kicks that ball down to the corner where it will be grabbed by Watene Lesniak and then smashed by Valentine Holmes. 10 metres out from their own line. But it's like, it's still optional, Lucas. Like, you can still say no, obviously. But you've then, for example, right, say you go to a massage, it will be like 1,000 rupee, which is like 18 Australian dollars. And that's just to get in the doors, right? So that's for the massage. And then you'll go in and like they'll just kind of like touch like your shoulders and your back and whatnot, just like for the main, that's what you're paying for. And then they'll ask if you want other things. And you can say no, but it's like you've already paid for the massage. You're not going to get an actual massage. That's the most pissed off thing you get. Dragons ball here at the 45 on their side of the field, first tackle. So you're not actually going to get what you paid for, and then you've got to pay extra for something that you didn't even want in the first place. You know, and so a lot of the time, most people will just walk out. I'm sure a lot of dudes out there actually want this kind of stuff. I feel like that would be such a weird thing to do, in my personal belief. It's like a business transaction. I've never been into that kind of stuff. Jack Kirkland with the $8 donation. Says, hope you're doing well, Blaze. Titans had a cracking game. Stay safe. Appreciate you, man. Just need Pakistan to slow down today so that I can get away tonight. But that's going to be a knock-on from the Dragons, and Warriors get the ball at 20. Jerome says, Rocco playing. He needs to make a comeback. He is not playing today. Rocco Berry not playing today. He is not there today. But another error there from the Dragons. That is the biggest issue for the Dragons today, their errors. Outside of that, the statistics aren't that bad, but their errors have been bad. I think they're on like 8 or 9 errors already. It's pretty ridiculous. Oh, I think it was 7 errors at halftime, wasn't it? So that would be their 8th error. Jay says, if you want a good massage in Thailand, find an elderly lady who does them. They don't want to jerk you off like the younger ones. Jay, what's going on here? You know, how do you know this? And that's going to be a penalty here against the Dragons. Warriors will get the penalty coming off their own 30. Get into him, Ez. Ez ripping into him. But how do you know this, Jay? Hey, you speaking from experience, buddy? Speaking from experience? But that is a penalty, so the Warriors will get this ball here to the 45. Jeez, we just heard sex on the commentary just there. Jackson Ford and sex. Gee, we may don't need to hear about that. But Jackson Ford won't be back for the rest of the game. Were you disappointed when you learned that, Jay? Jason's YouTube videos. I don't know about this, Jay. You're closer to Thailand than you are to the east coast of Australia. I reckon there's a little bit of something dodgy going on over here. Actually, are you actually... Yeah, you would be a closer flight to Thailand than to like Gold Coast / Brisbane / Sydney, wouldn't you? It would be like less than 5 hours. I actually don't know. Maybe I'm all over the shop. And knock on from the Warriors there. Gutho picks it up, and Val Holmes will bring it out here to the 25, to the 20 on 0. Tackle. Yeah, he does get taken back to the 20. Jackson's love to see the Tino and Brimo combo with Slick. Yeah, Titans did well yesterday, man. In the second half. Jason, she didn't have a doodle, so that was a bonus. It's always a bonus. It's always a very big bonus, that one. Second tackle to the 35. Is it due to arthritis? Is a crazy comment. That as a penalty to the Dragons here. Aaron with a high tackle. So it will be a penalty to the Dragons at the 45 on their own side of the field. They'll probably kick it to about the 40 on the other side, to be fair. But yeah, definitely a high tackle there. But is it due to arthritis? Is a wild comment. Jay can let you know, though. He's speaking from experience, mate. He's their best customer. So, how old do you think I really am? I'm curious. I'll answer that question, and I will say 65. First tackle here with the Dragons at the 30. It's just due to arthritis. So the Dragons now will be 20 metres out, second tackle. They score here. It'll be a one-score game. Off to Dylan Egan, then to King Tangia over the top. Knock on from the Warriors, so 0 tackle for the Dragons. And Gutho, he's cutting across the field, passes the offload away, Jaden Sewer. Sewer then to Moses Suley. And Suley's going to get this ball inside the 10. 5 metres out, 3 metres out. First tackle. No, sorry, that's still 0 tackle, I forgot. And it's a 6 again anyway. All right, Flanagan. Flanagan off to King Tangia. King Tangia, it's 9 metres away. First tackle. We're talking Millennium Jay. I'm telling you, he was around with Alexander the Great. He actually was. He was a part of that. He was a part of the. Oh no, I'm not gonna make no. First tackle here, 3 metres out for the Dragons. They get the ball flicked over the top, intercept, no touch by the Warriors. It's gonna be a knock on. No, I think it's a knock on Warriors first, isn't it? Yeah, first knock on by Teens Lesniak. I thought he wasn't going to call the knock on from the Warriors there. I thought he was just going to say Dragons did. He's part of Alexander's army. No, he was Alexander the Great. He just changed his name. He just changed his name. Yeah, if Teens Lesniak catches that and gives it to Metcalf, that would have been a try. A Warrior, that probably would have ended the game too, considering. Which would have been a very Dragons thing to do, considering what happened last week with Jaden Sewer. Woohoo! Woohoo! Genghis Khan. That man was brutal, Genghis Khan. All right, Dragons 10 metres away. Flanagan and Pacific Tonga is 7 metres away from the line. First tackle. Rolls it back to Jacob. 6 again. 6 again. Jacob Little, another 6 again here. Arguably, that was a try stopped by a offside player whilst the 6 again had been called. I'm surprised they didn't call a penalty there. Another 6 again. Well, how many 6 agains before we see a warning? Don't worry, Dragons score! And it's a try for the Dragons at 14-8, and then a kick to come for the Dragons. This round is all about if you lead at halftime, the other team's going to start to make their move. And that is what's happening here again. 14-8 the Warriors, but a kick to come for the Dragons to make it 10-14 any moment now. They really should be getting this, to be fair. If the Warriors win this, they go into second. If the Warriors lose this, they more than likely will finish off in fourth after this round. Well, Warriors keeping up the trend of not scoring second half. They are so far. They are so far. I'm glad I put Dylan Egan on the thumbnail now because he just got a nice little try. All right, well, interesting second half coming up. 30 minutes to go here of the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. We will be live for both games tomorrow, provided my plane arrives in Thailand. But then again, if my plane got cancelled here, I guess I would still be able to do it here anyway. PM holds crucial meeting. Damn, like tomorrow, based off of like the news reports and stuff, tomorrow's kind of like, these next 24 hours is like the time to get out. If you do not get out of India, you may not get out, based off of what I'm reading there. The pause the ref takes before blowing the whistle looks crack up. All right, so Val Holmes here to make it a 4-point game. If he gets it, he should be getting this. And that is exactly what he does. He gets a kick. Lucas says, you have a window seat? I do have a window seat. I'm in the premium of the economy. I booked my flight like this morning. So business class was too expensive. I would have tried to go business if I could, but it was ridiculously expensive. So, I'm on the premium of the economy because when you're in India, the flights over here, the flights are like the economy seats are like 27, 28 inches. And I'm 6'2", 6'3", right? So it's very small for people who have got a bit of height on them. And so you kind of need it's kind of a necessity to have premium economy / business if you're going to travel on planes over here in India. Like I was on an Indigo flight last night from Udaipur to Delhi, and the legroom was great. I got like the extra legroom seat, and it was massive. I probably should have just gone with Indigo again, but I would have had to miss out on this game here today as well. I'd take a seat on the wing if that was the last option. I'd take a seat on the wing. What are you trying to say, Joe? Third tackle now at the 35. If you think about everything in life, everything has its positives and everything has its cons. Penalty to the Dragons. Penalty to the Dragons. So it's like, I think I know what you're referring to, Jay, based off of the way crashes happen and all that kind of stuff, but I don't live my life in fear. If I had to get out. Oh, I get what you mean now, Joe. I get what you mean. I thought you were talking about like the way planes crash, like it's safer to sit, I think, in the aisle rather than the wing kind of deal. But I just don't live my life in fear. Either that or it's a long tuk-tuk ride. I don't think Bangladesh is going to be too happy to be taking tuk-tuk rides from India right now. Not that they're really involved, but they are also kind of involved just via location and also via history. Second tackle now for the Dragons at the 20. Actually, I wonder who Bangladesh would back in a fight. Because they used to be East Pakistan. So Dragons now at the 10, but then again, they segregated because of help from India. So maybe they would be India now. I don't know. Jay, you might know more than me about that. All right, so out to the right-hand side now. They give it off to Jack to Bellin, and de Bellin's going to be 5 metres away from the line. Fourth tackle. Fourth tackle now for the Dragons. Gutherson goes himself! And it'll be 1 metre out fit tackle. This is, again, another close game. Another close game that is, again, another comeback potential. They give it out to Flanagan. Flanagan then to King Tagia. King Tagia! I don't know what's happened, how this ball's got out there, but this may be a try to the Dragons. Dragons with the try. I don't know how the ball got out to the winger there, but it will be a try time. It's 14-14 with the kick to come. Damn, we are on for another close game here. The Warriors led 14-0. The Dragons have made it 14-14. I did warn the Warriors fans after it went to 14-0, like, don't think it's over yet. Oh, what? So it was a grubber kick. You couldn't really see from this angle what was happening there. They had it zoomed out too much. Here we go. This will show it. Flanagan, and yeah, it's just a good kick as long as he picks it up there. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. So 14-14 with the kick to come. Marks his games of 2 halves this week and last week for the Warriors. Who was the game last week for the Warriors? Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's right. Warriors, Cowboys. Yeah. This is going to be really tough. For the Warriors to come back in this one now, the momentum's all with the Dragons, but, the Warriors keeping up that same trend of team leading at halftime, not scoring a point in the second half. Dragons didn't score a point, Rays didn't score a point, and the Broncos didn't score a point in the second half. Broncos, Cowboys, and now the Dragons, 3 of our last 4 games have choked or almost choked, convincing lead. Yep. And the Eels as well. Eels game against Eels versus the Dolphins. Like, the Dolphins nearly choked that in the end too. Actually, Eels were up a decent bit in that game too, weren't they, at one stage? Val Holmes will miss the kick. So it is going to stay 14-14 with 27 minutes to go here of the game. Big Papa. Hey, Big Papa. You know what I'm saying now? Do you finally comprehend what I'm trying to get across to you for the last few weeks? I don't think I have felt this hurt. What was that second half? I can't believe we lost, but credit to the Dogs. They were too good in the end. Important lesson to be learnt for the Raiders, though. Sure, but do you now understand what I've been trying to get across to you? Mark says, still back my team, but it's touchy. Well, yeah, look at me with the Titans. They said the team leading 45 minutes have lost every game this week. Yeah, the Eels were leading it at the back end. Yeah, that's correct. But it is a tie game, man. So Warriors fans, at least you haven't thrown away the game just yet. Like, the Dragons have scored 3 tries to your 2, though. They have scored more tries than you. It's just that you got that penalty and they've missed a couple of kicks. So the Dragons now will get this ball to the 22 on 3rd tackle. Warriors, you are playing for sole 2nd place on the table. Hey, give it out to Luchan Leilua. Leilua's away here. Leilua for the Dragons, the 40 to 45. And he will get the offload away to Val Holmes. Val Holmes brings it now to the 45 on the Warriors side of the field. 4th tackle. Warriors, you need to hold on here. Mark says, a Warriors fan, I understand Titans fans to a certain degree. Yeah, not to the same degree as what we go through, but I always say the dribbler squad is the Titans, the Tigers, the Knights, and the Warriors. Oh, and the Eels. Titans, Tigers, Knights, Warriors, and Eels are the dribbler brigade. Because we all get it. To an extent. But we all get it. Oh, no way have the Warriors knocked that ball on 10 metres out from their own line on 2nd tackle. No way. So it's going to be a knock-on from the Warriors with Martini Zelezniak. And it will be Dragons ball here at the 10. Oh, boy. Well, Warriors, you have got some soul-searching to do if you want a chance in this one at this point. You have got some soul-searching to do, son. So 11 from 12 second half completions to the Dragons. 3 from 5 to the Warriors. Hey, if you are a Cowboys, Panthers, Tigers, Storm, or Sharks Manly fan, and you're leading at half, you don't want to lead your game at halftime. Just suck. Just suck in the first half and you'll win the game. Malachi would never. So 2nd tackle now for the Dragons. They're 5 minutes away from the Warriors line. 24 minutes left. They roll it back. Jacob Little. Little gives it off to Flanagan. Flanagan off to King Tugia. Lucha Leilua. Gutherson knocks the ball on. Watti's away! Out of 20, the 25, the 30. Dylan Egan was faster than Watti's Lesniak just then. Damn. Dylan Egan's got a bit of speed on him. So 1st tackle here for the Warriors at the 40. New rule, games don't start until the 2nd half. Yeah, well, if you've played the Titans for the last few years, that's correct. Yeah, Egan has wheels, Lucas. I thought that when Martini Zelezniak, he was going to be able to burn him, but he just couldn't get past him. Egan had a good angle, sure, but he had some speed on him. All right, third tackle. They get off to Metcalf. Metcalf underneath now to... Who's this number 15 here for the Warriors? Number 15 for the Warriors is... Jacob Laban. And the Warriors now 30 metres out, fit tackle. Fit tackle. Now Wade Egan to Luke Metcalf. They've got to find something, the Warriors, man. Still a long way to go, but they've got to find something. Knock on Dragons. I think this will be knock on Dragons first. Yep, knock on Dragons first. The Warriors will get the ball here at the 10. They've got a chance to take back the lead. They do have a challenge. They are, I think, going to challenge. Yeah, they've both got their eyes on the ball. I think this will be fine. This will be a challenge here from the Dragons, and I think it's going to be an unsuccessful challenge. They're trying to say they would take it before the ball comes into the contest. Sorry. They're both going up for the ball here, Halasima and Gutho. They just need to see who touches the ball first here, but there's nothing wrong with what Halasima did to get to the ball. This might actually be a knock on Warriors. Or maybe it's off the left forearm of Gutho. I don't know if you can clarify. I think this might be just on-field decision, inconclusive, and Dragons ball. And Warriors ball. But they keep their challenge. I think they're going to say this is inconclusive, and it will be Warriors ball. And Dragons keep their challenge. Yep, that's what they're going to do. Olivia says, is this round fixed or what? Hey, well, if it is, we'll keep fixing them because the Titans won, Olivia, so I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Got a ref call that. They have called ref call. So Warriors will get the ball at 10. The Dragons will keep their challenge. And it is a chance here to take back the lead. They were leading 14-0. Warriors fans are out chanting the living shit out of the Dragons right now. That's a massive chant for the Warriors, man. They are getting loud. So the Warriors will bring this ball out to the left. And Dragons fans, now you can fully comprehend when you say, oh, Titans fans get out chanted by the Warriors at Seabus. Hey, no shit, Sherlock. Well, guess what? You just did too. So out to Mitchell Barnett. And Barnett is 5 metres away from the line. Second tackle. It'll be such a game changer for them to score, considering they haven't scored second half, and that it's been 14 straight points, point past them. Third tackle here, 3 metres out. Bunty, R4. Wade Egan, he'll go right, then flicks it back to the left to Metcalf. Leka Halasima, this is not a great tackle, this one. Not a great tackle, this one. 5 metres out. Wade Egan gives it to Harris Savita. Harris Savita steps, pushes off 1, and he'll be 9 metres out. Punters will be pissed. I think the Warriors are the well, Titans were underdogs. They kick this ball through. 7. Wow, Gutho will get out of the in goal. That's really good stuff there from Clint Gutherson. Saves the Dragons for the moment. They won't have to do the dropout. Well, who were the favourites? So the Eels were the favourites. I tipped the Dolphins. The Knights were the favourites. Obviously, I tipped the Titans. Who was the favourites Broncos Rabbitohs game? Probably Broncos. And then I think the Warriors were favourites for this game. So, yeah, look, the punters wouldn't be having a good job in regards to the favouritism odds. But then again, this is how the competition's gone this year. It's always underdogs. There has not been a single Thursday night game for the first 10 rounds where the underdog has lost. Underdog has won every Thursday night game. So third tackle now, 10 metres away. And they'll bring it out through Moses Sully to the 20 on 4 tackle. Not a great set, this one, but, you know, at least they didn't concede on that set. And at least Gutho was able to prevent the Warriors getting the ball back as well. Fifth tackle now, 35 metres away from their own line. Off to Flanagan. And he'll just kick this one down deep where it will come to about the 15 or so. Whereas Charles Newell-Krokstad to the 25, to the 30, to the 35. Bushka! Taken down at the 35, first tackle. 20 minutes to go here of the game, guys. We'll be live for both games tomorrow. Sharks, Manly, Tiger Storm. Hit that like button and subscribe as long as I'm still alive. And, you know, you have to joke about it right now because otherwise, otherwise you just get, buddy... Terrified. But that's going to be a knock-on from the Warriors. They're going to challenge this, though, but they've called knock-on for the Warriors at the 40. Dragons will get the ball at the 40. But it will be a captain's challenge here, and they're saying that the Dragons stripped it. Still 20 minutes left. Little strips that. That's a penalty. Yep. So Warriors will have a successful challenge here. It will not be a knock-on, and they will receive a penalty, which will give them an attacking opportunity right now. Yep, no, we have spoken about that, Big Papa. We definitely have spoken about that throughout the game so far. So the Warriors now will kick that ball to the 40 on the Dragon side of the field. Doesn't matter. What doesn't matter, Lucas? All right, Kurt Catewell. The Warriors will get this ball to the 30 on first tackle. I'm surprised he's able to hold on to that ball because Leilua was all over that ball just then. Bunty out forward. Big Bubba Bushka. Good run from Bunty. That's a really good run. 18 metres away here from the line now. Wade Egan. Out to Tamati Martin. 7 metres out. 5 metres out. Third tackle. Less than 20 minutes left. Still tight game. Wade Egan. He goes short to the grass. The grass is not playing for you, but luckily it's not a knock on. It will be Warriors ball at the 5 now. Fourth tackle. Jack Slater get around the wires. I'll update the clock in a second. I'll update the clock in a second. Wade Egan, Mitchell Barnett. Barnett at the back into Metcalf. Metcalf gets it off again. Oh, didn't get out to Watine Lesniak, but it's still there. Ball fit tackle at the 20. If that ball goes to hands, it would have been an easy try for Watine Lesniak. Out to Luke Metcalf now. He puts that ball up into the air. The chase through Alasima. He's been taken out. Warriors still get it, though. 6 again they've called. 6 again for the Warriors. Wow. They'll be taking down 15 metres out now. Let me quickly try and refresh this scoreboard now. It's the same score anyway. It's just not with the clock. Big Warriors chant going on right now. This sounds like it's in New Zealand. Is there a single Dragons fan in attendance at the moment? Oh, shit. Are you guys still seeing me, by the way? Can you guys still hear me? Like, is the internet still going? Can you guys clarify that we are still on right now? Okay, this is actually quite terrifying. All the power's just gone out. Okay, we're back. Welcome to a war country, lads. Third tackle in 3 metres out. That was actually terrifying. All right, so we are third tackle of the Warriors at the 3. You have no idea how tense this country is at the moment, lads. You have no idea how tense this country is at the moment, lads. But all right, so there's a clock stoppage right now. Clock stoppage, and Chaznal Clockstat is just down injured. God bless him. Big Papa says, "Are you still in India?" Yeah, man, I'm getting out tonight. It's getting real spicy. Like, this country, any moment now, could be in all out. So I need to get out tonight. And that's why it's nerve-wracking, because I'm checking updates and stuff throughout this game that my flight's still on for tonight. All right, so third tackle of the Warriors. Just let me know how many fingers I'm holding up, guys, so that I know that we are still going smoothly. Fourth tackle of the Warriors, and they're 15 metres out. 8.5 minutes left here. Tamati Martin. Thank you, Jay. Luke Metcalf, and he's going to be 10 metres away. Fit tackle. Good defense from the Dragons at the moment. Jack, it more than likely is, brother. So fit tackle off to Harris Savita into the air. With Lesniak! Oh, he's half a metre short, loses the ball. It's gone backwards, though. No, they've called knock on. They've called knock on. Hello, people says 10. Yep, 10 minutes of you being a Muppet. See you later. No, you're all good. I won't time you out. So 18 minutes left here of the game. The Dragons with some good defense. I thought Watine Lesniak was going to score just then. I thought he was going to score. Big Office, this must be terrifying. It's not terrifying, but it's like a missile was intercepted by India this morning towards where I am in Delhi. There's a lot going on, man. It's just like you don't know with shit like this. You don't know what happens, when it's going to happen, if something's going to happen, kind of deal. So the best thing is just to get out. But I'm just, I need this Delhi airport to stay open, right? So that's why I'm in a 5-star hotel right now, man. Like when the power doesn't normally go out, so they're using their generator, which means that something's gone down really because I was here for days and days and the power never went out. Fourth tackle here for the Dragons. They were at the 45. It's such a scrappy footy from the Warriors. It's such scrappy footy from both teams, but 17 minutes left. Fit tackle with the Dragons at the 40 on the Warriors side of the field, and it's going to be Flanagan. And Daniel Martinez-Lesniak at the 10. He'll pass that ball across into Chance, and Chance will get this ball out to the 15. Lucas has the Indian public. Depends where you go. Depends where you are. If you're down south, it won't affect you right now. If you're up north, it's affecting you. Logan Ballsack says, India is a ticking time bomb right now. Got to get out before it's too late. Yeah. Third tackle. But if you guys see all this propaganda bullshit on TikTok about like Pakistan being the victims, it's full of shit. So fourth tackle now at the 32. They go out to the left-hand side to Aaron Clark. Take my advice from someone who's here right now. They are the aggressors. Fifth tackle here at the 45. Wade Egan's going to go out to the right-hand side to Luke Metcalf. And Metcalf now puts that ball down into the corner, where the Dragons will grab it at the 20. Brings it out to the 25. 16 minutes left here. Now to the 30. First tackle, Dragons. Just remember, the Warriors led 14-0 at half-time, just like 3 other teams have led by a minimum of that throughout this week. The Knights led the Titans 20-0 and lost. The Bulldogs were down 20-0 against the Raiders, and the Bulldogs won. And then also the Rabbitohs losing 14-0 to the Broncos, and they won. So a lot of comebacks this week, man. Warriors, you got to be nervous considering it was a 14-0 lead for you. Fifth tackle here. 6 again for the Dragons, and they're going to get an attacking opportunity right now. Look, it's 14-4 at halftime. Semantics, bro. You know it. Semantics. Second tackle here for the Dragons. They're going to be 20 meters out. Don't do that, Lucas. You stop it. Stop it. That's semantics if I ever did see it. So they go out to Luciano Leilua. Now they'll be taken down 15 meters out. Third tackle. Tax said, I hope the Wires or Dragons finish like rabbits. What do you mean? Well, Warriors were up 14-0, so they can't finish like rabbits. If that's what are you talking about? Comeback? Fifth tackle for the Dragons at the it's fourth tackle. Sorry, 5 meters out. King Tungia to Kyle Flanagan. Flanagan gets it across to Gutho. Taken down 5 out. Why did he throw that ball? Chance gets the ball offloaded, and it's taken to a biggie. Why did Gutho offload that ball just then? Why? That made no sense. Zachary, so it's going to be Warriors ball. His second tackle to 15. Zachary says thoughts on Latrell's grub try. It's like, I can understand why people get annoyed, but at the end of the day, blame the Broncos. Like, they should play the final whistle. You know, Sam Walker's incident from the other year wasn't the opposition team. It was him and the Roosters' choice. The Rabbitohs ones, like Broncos, played to the final whistle. I get why you can get upset and annoyed and frustrated. I'm aware of that, but also, who gives a fuck at the end of the day? Like, the Broncos need to defend that last tackle. It is ultimately on them. It is. Like, it is ultimately on them. Fifth tackle hit the 45. And points differential matters. So it's like, if you can get a free try like that, then honestly take it. If you're a Broncos fan, you get pissed off, but you should be pissed off at the fact that your team didn't even try and defend it. That's my thoughts. Doesn't mean that I don't think that there is a conversation to be had about it, but I don't think that ultimately the wrong person here is the guy who scored the try. It's on the Broncos. So second tackle here for the Dragons. Now third tackle at the 35. Grubb moved that last try, but also high IQ theft. So fourth tackle here at the 45 for the Dragons. They go to the right-hand side. Now it's Jaden Sewer who gets this ball to the 40 on the Warriors side of the field. Warriors, if you win this game, you will be outright second, regardless of what happens tomorrow with the Storm game. You lose this game, you will finish off the weekend probably in fourth if the Storm beat the Tigers, which I would assume they will. Martinez-Lesniak grabs the ball at the 5, and he'll bring it back out here to the 10. How long until you start considering the field goal? It's like pretending to shake hands at the start of an MMA fight, but throwing a punch instead. Not illegal, but won't win any medals of honor. Oh, well, that's not necessarily a right comparison. Like, that's a very... No, I wouldn't say it's like throwing a punch instead of a handshake at the beginning of a fight. It's like... I don't know how to compare it, but no, I think that's an extreme... I think that's an extreme way to look at it. I understand the point you're trying to make, but I think that example you use is an extreme way to look at it. He faked taking a knee. Yeah, but it's so extreme of polar reactions, which the example you gave to Latrell scoring a try because the Broncos didn't defend the last. At the end of the day, the tackle isn't. You can't just take a knee. You take a knee, that doesn't stop the game. A tackle still needs to be made. So again, it's still on the Broncos. They didn't even put a hand on him. So it's still on them. Because the game doesn't end until that play stops. So it's like if they're not going to make a play at him, well then, ultimately that's on the Broncos. So 4 tackle now for the Dragons. That doesn't mean I don't think it's questionable, but I think the conversation should be more on the Broncos not making the tackle. And that's going to be a knock on even the Dragons at the 35 on the Warriors side of the field. The Warriors will get the ball at the 35. Zachary says, what happens if Broncos tackled him and potentially get penalised because he took a knee? They would never have gotten penalised for him taking a knee. No, it never would have happened. It wouldn't have happened. Taking a knee is not a concept in Australian rugby league. That's never been a thing. You can't just take a knee and that's the tackle made. The player still has to put a hand on you. The player still has to make a play at you. So ultimately, it's on the players not making a play at you. If they had have just, while his knee was on the ground, if they had have just put their hand like this, game over. But they didn't. They were all walking away. So it's like, sure, it's questionable morally, but also it's part of the game. Ultimately, the wrongdoing was actually by the Bronx. So you can question Latrell's morals all you like, which is a valid question regarding that incident. But I don't personally believe that he is the biggest problem in that situation. 3rd tackle now for the Warriors at the 42. If you disagree with what I'm saying, please tell me why I'm incorrect in the way that I'm thinking. Because again, that play doesn't stop. The game does not end until there is a play made on that player. So if you're not going to make a play on that player, why don't you go and fix your points differential? 10 minutes to go to the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Warriors 4 tackle at the 30. Get the ball to Metcalf, then to Leka Halasima. And that's a high tackle. No, they haven't going to call the high tackle. 5th tackle now for the Warriors at the 20. They get back to Metcalf, and Metcalf, field goal! He's got it! Damn, that was out of nowhere. He wasn't even shaping up for a field goal. The Dragons didn't even try and make a play at it, really. The Dragons did not even chase hard enough. That's a brilliant kick there from Metcalf, though. Wow, what a slot. What a slot, and just strikes it inside the post. And here's 15-14 here to the Warriors with 10 minutes to go. That was a very sneaky field goal there. It's literally just shooting a 3 instead of dribbling out the clock. Yeah, so I will compare that one. I will give that comparison. That is actually the correct comparison because going for a handshake and then punching someone in MMA is a whole different ball game to to what we saw. But the point of what was trying to be made, I got. It's just the example wasn't necessarily great. That is a great example because that is, you can argue bad sportsmanship, but also you want to fix your points differential. You need points to fix your points differential. I'm taking the points on offer if you're not going to make a play. Big Papa says Broncos thought they were in the NFL. Correct. Taking a knee doesn't stop the play. 4 tackle here at the 40. In the NFL, it does. Hello People says Broncos just have to play the final whistle. Well, they know that now, but that's absolutely correct. Charles Nickel-Klukstad, 5th tackle at the halfway point. Metcalf is in great form. Metcalf's been in great form ever since his bad game against the Bronx where he missed 3 from 4 kicks or 4 from 5 kicks or whatever it was. He's needed it, to be fair. So Dragons now at the 28 on their own side of the field. 8 minutes to go. Warriors lead by 15-14. They currently sit in second if they win this game. Luke Metcalf can be an expensive re-sign next year. I think you'll get him for good value. I don't think that many teams would be looking towards him. I think the Warriors can get him for some really good value. That's not an insult towards him. I just don't think that he's a high priority for many teams. I don't know if he necessarily suits many other teams. I think he suits the Warriors. So I think you can get some good value for him. So at the back now to Flanagan. Flanagan here to Jaden Sewer. And Sewer, 5th tackle at the 40. What if those 6 points cost them the 8? Exactly right. That's why. It's like you're playing for your season still. Like your points differential is always integral. And it goes up! He's got the ball, but then it's a knock-on from the Dragons. So it will be Warriors ball now. And Warriors will get this ball here to the 25. The Bulldogs in the Raiders game was epic in the last 20 minutes. Yeah, we've seen many comers back so far this round. And the Dragons came back in this one. It's just maybe the Warriors were able to hold out, unlike the Knights weren't able to hold out against the Titans. The Raiders were not able to hold out against the Bulldogs, and the Broncos weren't able to hold out against the Rabbitohs. So let's see if the Warriors can find a way to hold out in this one. Third tackle now for the Warriors, the 44. Let me know in the chat. Let me know right now. Do you think the Warriors find a way to win it, or do you think that do you think the Warriors hold out, or do you think the Dragons find a way to win it? Warriors now at the 30. Metcalf. He'll flick it on. No, it's a knock on. Oh, they've said backwards. They've said backwards. Play on. Barnett kicks this ball down. There's no one underneath, but the Dragons will get it. That was 4 tackle, Barnett. Why did you need to kick that ball? I don't understand why he felt the need to kick that ball just then. Yeah, rush of blood to the head there from a forward, but it's like you're a front row, bro. Just pass the ball to somebody who should kick it. And penalty to the Dragons. That's not the play there from the Warriors. That's not the play there from the Warriors. The Dragons will get a penalty, so they're going to get themselves into the attacking half, and we still may see an extra time here. Field goal is definitely well and truly in the question to send us in. 45 metres out here from the Warriors line. The Dragons will have a fresh set of 6. Feeling Dragons win here. I still think Warriors hold out, but I get a good vibe that we might be going extra time. I just feel like the Dragons will be able to slot a field goal. Who takes it? King Tungia maybe be able to take it. We haven't seen it yet. Flanagan probably should be able to slap one. Val Holmes can slap one too if he comes back onto the inside. Dragons will absolutely be in field goal position. They give this off to, I think it's Couchman there. They're 20 metres out. Yeah, Val Holmes, Mitchell. So Damien Cook, where's he go? He goes left-hand side. They're right up the middle of the field. You can't give away a penalty. You definitely can't give up a try here, Warriors. Damien Cook, 20 metres out. Do you think about the field goal now on 4 tackle, or do you go one more tackle? I think you go one more here and get a little bit better of field position. That's exactly what they do. David Clemmer now. They're 12 metres away from the line. Dragons here. They're going to have to try and kick a field goal here to set it up for an extra timer. They get this ball out all the way at the back. He's got plenty of time here. Val Holmes, he will! He will miss the kick, and it will be a 7 tackle set coming up here for the Warriors. He will miss the kick from right in front. He had plenty of time. Oh, geez, the power's going out again. Guys, this is actually terrifying being in this country right now, man. It's actually, this is actually terrifying being in this. Like, Delhi is, yeah. All right, so first tackle now for the Warriors, and they'll get this ball here to the 15. Warriors wins have not been by a lot, but win. That's what makes Warriors games a wow. Yeah, I agree. Second tackle here. Damn, I really just hope I get on this flight tonight, man. Second tackle now. Gets off to... They're away, the Warriors. They're away. They're at the 40, the 35, the 30. He can't get any more open. Poor miss, I agree, Mitchell. So Warriors now at the 30. They go to the left-hand side. It's Harris Avita. Harris Avita at the 20. If they score here, it'll be game over. If they score a try right now, it'll be game over. Full tackle. Off to Metcalf. Metcalf to Maratha Niokore, who's 15 metres out. Just don't give away a 7 tackle set here, Warriors. Just don't give away a 7 tackle set. They put that ball up into the corner. The chase through here by Watani Lesnap, but the Dragons grab it. And they will be taken back to the 1. 2 metres out. 2 metres out here for the Dragons. Now Val Holmes brings it out here to the 10 on second tackle. Yeah, it was a perfect kick there. It doesn't give away the 7 tackle set. Now it forces the Dragons to go 100 metres. Third tackle for the Dragons at the 18. Every game so far this round has been great. Every single game. And now Hamish Stewart at the 25. On 4 tackle, they've made next to no metres this set. Now they pass out at the right. Here they go. Here they go. Sully flicks it off here to Tyrell Sloan. Tyrell Sloan's away at the 50. The 45. He's still up. 40 metres out. Gets away from 1. Taken out to 40. Great to see Titans get a win, William. Fifth tackle now for the Dragons. They give it off to Flanagan. Flanagan off to King Tungia. King Tungia, he'll flip the ball all the way back at 2-point field goal. Val Holmes doesn't take it. He goes out to the right-hand side. He kicks it through. Val Holmes. Oh, the ball bounces up for the Warriors. And they'll luckily get the ball at 20. Still 3 minutes to go here of this game. Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe if you're new around here. Don't forget to go subscribe to BKRtravel as well, where we'll be talking about this India situation as I'm currently here on tomorrow's video. So second tackle now for the Warriors at the 22. 2 minutes and 37 seconds to go here of the game. Watani Lesniak, third tackle. Made a few mistakes today, Dylan Watani Lesniak, but he comes up fine with that one. Third tackle at the 30. Now Mitchell Barnett, he'll get this ball to the 35. Fourth tackle. 4 tackle. Dragons fans are getting out-chanted to shit right now. Make it 40-20. There is no way the Warriors should be even considering that right now. They just need to get through their sets and just be safe with it. They need to be super safe with it. If you get in the attacking area, still try to go for the try. Don't do what the Sharks did against the Raiders a few weeks ago, about a month ago now. But outside of that, like the Dragons have got 2 minutes here to try and save their bacon. Just getting field goal range is all they're after. So second tackle, Val was trying to go for a 2-point field goal, but the defense was up and at him. So second tackle now at the 32, a minute 48 to go here of the game. They'll be lucky if they can get another tackle, to be fair. Oh, he gets the offload away. Damien Cook at the 40 gets the ball to Gutho. Gutherson at the 50. They're making good meters here. They will be in range for a 2-point field goal if they want it. Damien Cook, he'll give this ball off to Flanagan. Flanagan to King Ngia. And King Ngia on 4 tackle. They're 45 meters out. He's lost the ball. Have they lost the ball? Yep, he's lost the ball. He's an idiot. I'm sorry, but this is what happens. Unfortunately, he's inexperienced and he's lost the ball there. A minute 17 to go here. They're going to try and challenge this, which will at least stop the clock. But he's lost the ball there. And honestly, you just have to be going straight in that situation. You're trying to get in field goal range. You don't need to go sprucey out of the left. You just need to try and get into field goal range here. He's lost it. It's going backwards, to be fair. I think that goes backwards, to be fair. Who gets the ball after it? Oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I think that ball may potentially go backwards here. Oh, they'll call that forward for sure. Well, that's not going to be a good angle. I don't know if you can conclusively tell me. Yeah, it's actually a penalty. It should actually be a penalty because he's in front when he touches it, but it's going to be a knock on there from the Dragons. So a minute 15 to go here. The Dragons will be lucky if they can get one individual tackle. They'll be very lucky. A minute 10 to go here of the game. The Dragons have to quickly pack the scrum. You should have already been ready for it, to be completely honest with you. You should have already been there to stop the clock. A minute 4 to go here. The Warriors have the ball at the 42. They should be able to waste a good 50 seconds here on this set. They should be able to waste 50-odd seconds. So Warriors now, they go to Adam Pompey, and Pompey on first tackle. He'll be at the 50. Jared Fabman says, this is very stressful. Yeah, it was very stressful for me yesterday. I know the feeling. Out of the right side of Chancellor Crookstad. Second tackle here, 45 metres out, 50 seconds to go here of the game. Warriors slowly getting up. They roll this ball, still haven't rolled it back. Now they get to Wade Egan. That was a 5-second slowdown play. That was nice there from Chance. The Dragons will probably get one tackle at the end of this set. Okay, well, that's good there from Barnett. 34 seconds to go here of the game. It's third tackle. They give it off to Vaimaunga, who's 20 metres out, 4 tackle. 26 seconds left here. Warriors, they won't risk a kick at the end of this. They'll just slow it down. And the Dragons will be forced to run for the entire 100 metres. 17 seconds, 16, 15, fifth tackle. Warriors, Wade Egan. He'll give this ball off into Kurt Catewell. Kurt Catewell runs to the left-hand side. He still goes out to the left-hand side. And he'll get taken down here. 15. There it is. Okay, well, Dragons going to be quick. You got to be quick. You got to be quick. Time is off. 2 seconds to go. Okay, the Dragons have to run 90 metres in 2 seconds. The Dragons have to run 90 metres in 2 seconds here. All right, last play. They flick the ball all the way across. Off to Leilua. Over the top. Ah! Well, it's game over anyway, but Watesi Lesnat nearly just intercepted and scored. But it's game over anyway. 15-14 will be the final score to the Warriors. That would have been absolutely insane if he intercepted that and scored. But it will be final score. The Warriors do go into second position behind the Dogs. They are outright second. The winner, the team in first is the Dogs. The team in second is the Warriors. The team in third currently is the Raiders. The Storm can change that tomorrow, though, and go into third. They can't go into second because the Warriors are outright. They finished this round in second. Very good win there for New Zealand, but they have to be concerned about that second half. They were at 14-0 basically going into halftime, and then it ended up being 14-14. The Warriors were able to kick a field goal, a surprise field goal too, because Metcalf kicked that when they weren't even really setting up for it, to be fair. But they do get it, and they do win. They get their 4th straight win, and you've got to be happy with it. I was one of the ones who underestimated the Warriors coming into this season, and And they've definitely proven everybody wrong so far. Long way to go in this season, however. They'll take that. Dragons, still a bit of soul-searching to do, but they'd be happy with their second half. Just unfortunately couldn't get over the line in the end. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you as usual. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. I have got to keep in touch with the Delhi airport and make sure that my flight's still going tonight. So, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for both streams. I'll hopefully be in Bangkok by then. Obviously, if you want to keep up to date, then check out my BK Sport Instagram, whatnot, because I'm flying to Thailand to get out of India tonight at 1:40 a.m. our time. And there's the lights going again. I tell you what, it's terrifying being here, man. There's the lights going off again. It is it is a very interesting time being in a country that's currently at war. So, guys, hit that like button, subscribe. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow for both the games. I appreciate you for tuning in. God bless you, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.